It's probably, I don't know. It's a yellow lab. I'm not
You
sure.
gotta talk to him. Don't keep his fucking mouth.
I'll tell him what it is
Son
and
of
what
a
it
bitch.
is all about. Are we back on? This says I'm still live on that other show.
What's wrong?
Hmm?
What's wrong?
Oh, it says I'm live here too. All right.
We gotta update
All right,
the name
now-
list.
What?
The contributor name list after today. We need to update it.
Yeah, okay. I'll explain to people that it's snow delayed. Oh, yeah, I gotta have that ready to go too. What was that? What was that on? I had it on YouTube, right?
Man, I was doing I had zero issues moving, and just I get into the neighborhood. I almost slid off the road pulling into the neighborhood. And then as I'm pulling in, I'm like, no, you are not going anywhere, sir. And just, I almost hit the friggin' light pole, but I stopped like right short of smashing that thing, and then that would have been a problem.
I fishtailed on purpose coming in. It was the first time I was like, yeah, let's do it. I almost went into that pile of timber. It's right on the side of the neighborhood.
Yeah, that was, I cracked the front of my front license plate is smashed in half, and there's a crack in the front of my bumper.
Oh, Jesus.
So we all lose in this scenario.
Yeah. So it's just down on the ground.
Don't tell them I'll pay for it. Fuck them.
It's just down on the ground.
It's flattened on
Put
the
it
ground.
back in.
Well, was it broken in any way? Did it bring earth up with it, or did it just pop out?
I think it just.
Maybe you can.
I didn't really look that hard. I
just
I shook
hauled
myself
ass.
out, I just drove around. Well, then I got stuck, and I was like, I'm getting stuck in the top of the street. I'm just gonna ditch my car. But then I just kept driving forward around, like, and made it out.
Gotta
Hey,
have
I'm
all-wheel
here.
drive.
Radio, am I right?
Gotta have all-wheel drive, Mike.
I have front wheel drive. It's the same thing.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Don't make me pull up an article.
Should call Autumn.
So people probably don't. Yeah, give Autumn a call. I told people the cameras were open, and they weren't. They were on that other show. La dee dee dee.
Steak is
Coffee
delicious,
just
whatever
won't
it
stay
is.
hot. Huh? Courtesy of my wife,
Delicious.
Mrs. Hessler.
She make it?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
That's why I can't lose weight. Especially when it's cold. She was baking all yesterday. Just all yesterday.
When I left yesterday, I go upstairs and she's got just these beautiful like hot steak sandwiches. She's like, take a sandwich. I was like, oh my god, it's a steak sandwich for the road. It was amazing.
In a lot of ways, my wife is very modern wife, but from her mother, she still has that, cooking, baking, thing, which is wonderful. I weighed 180 pounds when I met her. I was thin as a rail.
And now you're what, about 92?
Mm-hmm. She's beefed me up. All right.
You couldn't have asked for a better day for my television debut, my daytime television. Cause
Yeah, everybody
was at
saw it.
home.
Yeah, but didn't we give out the wrong? It wasn't on Fox 5. It was on
something, but it was easily findable, searchable. I had a lot of people that were listening to the show hit me up on Twitter or Facebook saying, "Hey man, caught the show."
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
It's kind of crazy,
Well,
How are you?
I mean, that's
1
not-
to 2
I'm good.
broadcasts.
How are you
and I'm already
doing?
getting, like,
I'm fine. I could have
Yeah.
picked you
people
up this
interacting
morning,
with me.
Yeah, no,
but I
it's awesome.
decided not
Great,
to
No, I think
bring that up to Eric because I know he'd say, "Yeah,
first
do that."
show's been great. People are
It's
digging
real
it.
hard to
It's so
understand you. You're real
sad.
muffly.
I had the it was perfect.
How about now?
I stretched 4
Oh, it's a little bit better.
no problems.
It's your phone. It's that cell that you have.
No problem.
You think so?
What service? You got the Boost Mobile?
No, AT&T.
No.
What, she sound crappy?
No, she sounds fine. She says that we're muffly.
She sounds a little muffly to me.
Oh,
What are you on? AT&T?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, you're on your regular phone. You're not on Skype? We didn't call. Oh, she doesn't have Skype. Can she
I
call?
have a Skype, but it's not like.
Can she call our number from hers? It might. That's what she did, or did you call her cell number?
I called her.
Through Skype.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the only way we'd be able to hear her.
So I sound muffly to you?
Yeah, you sound a little muffly to me.
It just sounds like a normal phone.
Is this okay? Is this a little bit better?
Yeah.
All right, just put the mic closer to my face.
Well, you see, there you go. That's basic broadcasting.
Ah, further away. Breaking news. Move the mic close to your mouth.
She's on top of her game. I was testing.
Yeah, so you can hear it. Be careful. We all have to be careful if Autumn's on the phone to not. She can't see us, so.
Autumn, I made it, by the way. This is Mike.
Yes.
I know. I'm watching you on Ustream.
Oh, you can see me? How's my shirt? Pretty good? New shirt?
I can't see you. Hold on. It's very delayed, so.
You know, I go through all this trouble to cover up every Apple logo, and then Mike just shows up and his Apple logo is.
Why do you want to cover up Apple logos?
I don't know. I have this feeling. I love Apple products, but I just feel like that. Get a room. That's what I feel like. Get a room.
Can we
I'll step
record
out every
him
time I blow
blowing
my
his
nose.
nose,
I have
that
no
little horn
problem.
noise, and play it sometimes?
We have it because we have it this time.
Oh, hi, Mike. I see you now.
Hey.
I like that shirt.
Thanks.
All right, we got what? 3 minutes? 2.5.
2.5.
And my coffee's low again.
There's none left. None. And
So-
I don't know how to use that machine.
I don't either. It's weird in German. How's my voice here? Because I'm going to try to talk a little bit past the mic so I'm not popping. There's still some popping, I noticed, when I was vainly watching myself yesterday during the snowstorm.
How many times do you watch the shows?
I listened to it on the audio in the morning, and then before I went to bed, I watched it, and I think it was really good. But I kind of like the audio better.
Yeah, the audio is better.
I mean, I think it's good to have the cameras, but I like if I was just listening.
I hate the cameras.
Well, because you're full of hate.
No, I'm not full of vein.
Oh, you're not full of vain, right? You're not vain at all. That's right. Yeah. Look at me, Mr. High School
look at this.
Kennesaw. Look at me.
Look at
I'm
this.
jumping off the building. Look at me.
It's hair.
What did you do once? Didn't you swallow a whole bunch of?
Hey, we have to get going. we have to get ready for the show. I'm turning off the mics.
It's the morning show with EVH. I'm Eric Von Hessler. There's Michael Albanese right over there. He made it in, not without incident. We'll get into that
Barely.
in just a moment. Greg Russ is on controls, flying the ship over there. Greg made it in, really without incident, but it took him a long time. We'll get to that as well. The only member of the crew who is not here would be the little cute pregnant girl.
Stupid Autumn.
Stupid Autumn did not make it in. I don't even think she attempted. I don't know how much she cares, to be honest with you. But we do have her by the magic of Skype technology. Good morning, Autumn.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm so sorry I'm not there.
And why aren't you here?
Because it's too scary to drive. I'm too scared to drive.
And she's pregnant.
I could have picked her up, and I thought of that.
Yeah.
But I gave her the free pass. The all-wheel drive with the Subaru.
Yeah.
I'm overly confident driving that.
Yeah.
I look at people in other cars, and you're an idiot. Watch me drive. I went up a hill
I didn't think
yesterday.
you were in the city.
Oh, yeah, he was in the city. But it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because I would have said no because she's pregnant, and if you guys got stuck somewhere.
Let me just finish this. I was going up a steep hill yesterday, and people were watching because everyone's walking around now. Suddenly, Atlanta's a walking city.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's so beautiful outside. I'm going up this steep hill, and people are watching me, expecting me to not be able to make it, stall out, slip backwards, right up the hill.
No, you knew that
No show for them.
They were rooting against you.
Yeah, of
Because they
course.
thought that you were
No,
cocky. You were cocky out there on the streets with your vehicle, and they were rooting against you, and you showed them.
I did show them, and
All-
I'm still feeling good about it. This is how sad my life is. The victories that I find in existence.
And we've been so propagandized that because we have Subarus, of calling it all-wheel drive. It used to be called four-wheel drive, I believe, but everybody should have it.
Four-wheel drive you can turn off. All-wheel drive, it's there all the time.
Why would you want to turn it off? Does it get in the way? In the middle of the summer or something? I have no idea why you would turn
I
it
have
off.
front-wheel drive, and I feel like I did a pretty good job.
Well, speaking of which, you did a pretty good job apparently until you got to my neighborhood, and then
I got all the way. I'm talking from downtown Atlanta to where the hell are we right now?
we are in
We're somewhere outside
Roswell.
of Atlanta.
Roswell.
Yeah, Roswell. No incident. I'm talking passing people up hills that are like completely snow covered, no problem. Then my dumbass pulls into the neighborhood, and I take the right to get onto your street.
Yeah.
Where I'm almost here.
So you're already you're on the first street in my neighborhood, but you're actually turning on to my street.
Onto
in the
your actual street where I pull into the driveway, and instead of donutting and sliding out, my car just keeps going straight.
Yeah.
And I'm talking maybe 5-10 miles an hour, so it's just a slow burn of me sliding.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a stop sign, and there's a light pole, and I'm like, well, because I'm in the process of about ready to sell my car.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, here it goes. This is going to shit the value down to nothing. And I slam into here's a stop sign that has your street name on it. And there was a little child walking a dog maybe 50 yards in front of me, staring at me. And he did not look too thrilled. I think he was scared that I was going to get out and kill him.
Right. You
Which
seemed like
I
a
almost-
madman
I
to
could
him.
have,
Did you
absolutely.
take out the sign?
The sign is flattened on the ground, and if it continues to snow for any more amount of time,
All the evidence will be gone.
it'll be gone.
Now you say the street name is on it. Is it a street sign or is it a stop sign?
It's like the whole thing. It's like the stop sign, and then it has the street crossings
oh, okay.
on top of it.
Oh, well, great. I'm
you-
going to
if you-
hear from the neighborhood association on that one.
Well, I'm telling you
Fantastic.
right now, that's I
Now's the
I
time.
feel like the company should be, because it was a work thing. I was on work
Yeah,
time.
yes. I was trying to get to work. I was doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
The
I was
neigh-
told I had to be here.
The neighborhood association already hates Eric because of the color of the house.
That's true. I don't get along real well with them because we painted our house a few years and we painted it sort of light blue. And well,
looks
that's
fine.
craziness. In Georgia, if your home isn't, I don't know, egg white, like eggshell white, what's that called?
Eggshell.
Eggshell or cream, then you're radical. I painted my house. Why does this keep popping on me? I painted my house. It's called Martha Stewart Blue. It's out of the Martha Stewart catalog. I'm trying to tell these people in the home
It was
association.
prison blue.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, this is not exactly radical. It's out of the Martha Stewart line of home.
It was actually knockoff. I saw the can. It was Martha Stewart BLEW, which is a different type of paint altogether.
Another thing she did in prison.
I had a neighbor. Well, our neighborhood, when I growing up, I lived in the burbs as well, and we had a neighbor that were friends of ours that they painted their house yellow, not like bright yellow, but a pretty solid, like maybe like a banana cream. Let's go with. And their shutters they painted red. And I thought it was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And they were basically getting picketed by the other neighbors.
Yes.
And they called it, we don't want a bleeding banana in our neighborhood. I'm like,
Nobody.
Oh my God.
If you think about it, nobody really wants a bleeding banana in their neighborhood.
Why don't you go to your stupid job, selling widgets to nobody,
Leave us
go
alone.
home, beat your wife, and then just be done with it. Just end it. They should have been in my car, and they should just kept driving
Yes.
into the pole, face first, out of the window, and then just end it.
Well, you have to walk a
Who
fine.
complains about colors of houses?
Well, you got to walk.
Plenty of people, apparently.
You got to walk a fine line with that.
It's the value of the home is going down. Shut up. Your home ain't worth shit anyway.
You have to. You have to walk a fine line with that because there are values involved, but I think you should be able to stray from the
There's no fine
eggshell or
line.
cream every once in a while.
But the fine line is it's painted, and you can paint it back. So I don't see. It's not like the house is falling apart.
Right.
It's decrepit. It's paint.
Yeah, but if you're selling your house, if you're next to the bleeding banana, and you're selling your house that
You know what you
summer,
do then?
You're screwed.
You go to your neighbor, you knock on the door. Hey, I see you're selling your house. You don't like this color? Give me some money. I'll change it.
Oh,
You
there
know
go.
what?
Be an
feel like
entrepreneur.
it's the Martha Stewart Mafia. That's what we can start calling
Yeah.
it. The MMM? Martha Stewart Mafia. I'm not
Yeah.
good with words.
It'd be the triple M.
The triple M.
It's-
Y'all want
it's-
some M&M? Was that like the rapper and some candies? Shut up.
So great. So you taken out a street sign
Taken
and a
out a
stop
street
sign
sign, yeah.
together, and well,
I'm
you made
here.
it here though.
I'm
That's the
here.
important.
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
That's what I'm going to tell the home association.
And I gotta
That's the
tell
thing.
ya,
I made it. You made it.
I was kidding earlier about I was told I had to be here. I wanted nothing more than to be here today. 'Cause
Yes.
I had so much fun here, and I've been so bored.
Oh,
so
really?
bored at home. It's just. I mean, me
I
and
thought
my-
you were the type of guy that weren't bars open in the city.
Yeah, but I'm
last time
trying to
that-
drink less, and I still
Okay.
drank quite a bit yesterday.
You just drink less.
I just drank a little bit less, and me and my roommate, we made some vines, and because there's 4 people left doing that.
Yeah, you guys,
we went
you're
to-
holding on to that Vine thing. Man. You really
Absolutely.
are.
Went to the bar, had a few
No,
shots.
Vine is great.
Hold on there, Autumn. Nobody asked you to pipe in.
What did she
Oh,
say?
okay.
She said vines are great.
Vines are great. A good contribution. We're
Vine.
glad
Hey,
you're on
Autumn.
the phone.
Yeah.
It's all yours. It's just you. Say
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
you want.
I love Vine. Vine is awesome. I don't think I'm the greatest at them, but I love to watch them. That's all I have to say. Goodbye.
Well, considering you have a YouTube channel with millions of hits.
Oh, this
For
is
like
oh,
5
this
years
is.
of-
We haven't really. Have we talked about this yet? With
No.
Autumn's previous life. Her.
We should do it when she's
No.
back.
This is not her
Live,
first. Well,
yeah.
let me just say, this is not her first foray into the entertainment world.
Oh, absolutely.
She was quite popular in the mid-aughts with her
Schlag.
Was it called Schlag?
Yeah, schlagging.
No, it was not called Schlag. It
Well-
was very different. It was called Shog.
It was called Schlag.
It was called Chaporn.
and exactly what was that all about?
So it all started because I was talking to myself about my day and my thoughts, and I was usually doing this in the car or in the shower. So
Yeah.
I decided to videotape myself from the shoulders up
Yeah.
in the shower. And it got really popular, and I thought, wow, I must be really interesting. But that was not the case.
Yeah. It turned out that people were just waiting for that camera to drop. Down a
No,
little bit.
well, possibly, maybe a percentage of them, but
She
most
still
of
holds
them
out
were
for the internet to have a little bit of morals and ethics.
yeah.
They don't care.
they were shampoo fetishes.
Oh, so you got a lot of the shampoo fetish guys. So there are
Yeah,
guys
I
who
was-
who
yeah.
aren't all that interested in the boobs and the rest of it. They just like to see a girl put shampoo in her hair.
They would request for me to get in the shower with my clothes on.
Really?
They wanted me to be in a tub with all my clothes on. I considered doing it and making people pay for it because it didn't seem sexual to me.
Yeah, showering and talking on the internet.
There's
Do
nothing sexual about that at all.
There's not
I-
one man with their hand down their pants right
I love
now.
women. I love women who think they understand men. I remember at this.
You don't see anything. You're
I
seeing from the
understand
shoulders
that,
up.
but that's still the reason they're there is because they're hoping something will happen and one day the big reveal will come. I remember talking to you back then, and you were so innocent about it. No, they just like to hear my thoughts. There's nothing.
Well, that's what I thought at first, and then I found out it was like a fetish. And then I
Right.
thought, well, I guess they're thinking of my shampooed head as sexual. But if
Yeah.
I don't, then can I just make money?
Well, sure. Well, you should have. I think you should have made money. Exploiting
do 'em again.
perverts.
You should do
Exploiting
more.
perverts is good pay.
Do more now that you're pregnant. Pregnant? That's a word?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
actually what she is.
Because now, you have a very short window where you can exploit this before you become a mother. Because right now, you're just a fat chick. But
Yeah.
if soon you're going to be
Sure.
a mother, so I think you should take.
She should take the
advantage
kid
of
into the
this.
shower with her. And,
That's
her
getting a little
thoughts of-
aggressive.
Which one?
Why? There's
Oh.
nothing
Eric.
sexual. There's nothing sexual. Why? Why is
It's
there
like
a
a little
problem?
exploitive. If you ask me. But if you ask me, I also have a server you can put any of that information
Which one would you
on.
like to hear?
Oh, thanks.
Oh, do we have examples?
Would you like the last Shog of 2007?
Sure.
Shog Bitchin'. A Shog Before My New Job, the Adam Carolla song. Shog, Shog, Shog.
I don't want to hear Adam Carolla stuff because she used to be in love with him, and it's just weird.
A quick story about David. The day after the fetish. Shampoo fetish. All fogged up. My first day in the homeless. Or Shower Diaries.
Which should we go to, Autumn, for a little snippet?
Well, then go to the one that's the 2 million hits one.
Oh, what was that one?
Shower Diaries, 7 years ago.
2 million.
7 years ago.
So text pops up. It's shower time.
Oh, she did a little post work on it.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, stop it for 1 second.
It's
I couldn't
terrible, you guys.
Okay, by the way,
It's worst.
I was your friend then, and I really felt that I could not watch these. That's how I just thought, I'm not going to watch her do these, so I'm not very familiar with them. Was the water on before you got in, and then you peel back the curtain like it's Johnny Carson and step into the shower?
I would step in.
And the water's already going.
I would turn the camera on, turn on the water, step in, and start talking about nothing.
Did you ever finish one and think, I got to take another shower? That one sucked.
Sometimes I thought, man, I am talking. I can't believe this is still going on. Why am I doing this?
Did you ever do a take two?
No, never.
Okay.
I'm a professional, Eric.
Apparently
One
it
take,
shows.
I'm done.
All right. Here.
The water bill gets too high.
Yeah. A lot of water. The whole thing is just listening to the water.
She's just feeling out her frame right now, looking at the camera, trying to find the right spot.
Oh, yeah. And guys are, they got to get their pants down around their ankles.
It's hot. The water's hot.
And
So this is the whole process.
what did you do? Did you ever hear of editing?
I have the thing open so I can see what's. This is my new idea. Shower vlog, shower diaries, shower something.
She was such a pop.
She's
I
clearly
don't
worried
know
about
what
the ratings and what she's saying.
Yeah.
Send it.
Stop it once. Can you pause without going back to the beginning? Okay, because what I love when people say, tell you what you're watching. I'm in the shower, on the internet.
You guys are listening to the Eric Von Radio Show right now. If you're tuned in, this is that.
This is broadcasting. I'm not from my shower. So go ahead, a little more, but we won't run people
It's
off.
riveting.
So, taking a shower.
Taking a shower.
I'll think of something funny to say eventually.
The production value.
I have a lot of things going on right now.
Yeah.
A lot of sort of balls in the air because
Balls.
we just started going back to school.
All right, I don't care. I don't
Yeah,
care
it's
how
terrible.
hot, I
I'm
don't care
telling you,
how
it's
sexy
terrible.
this little girl is.
You
This is
just
boring.
treated this just like every other dude in America or in the world that watched this. As soon as they realized the camera was on a tripod and nobody was running it, so therefore it couldn't creep down.
Right.
Turn it off. Let's go to find somebody
Yeah.
falling or something.
Where did you put the camera? So you left the shower curtain open a little
Oh, it
bit?
was terrible. It was like on top of CDs and books. It was teetering dangerously.
We're doing the same
It's
thing.
like our setup here. 392 likes and 320 dislikes.
Oh, are there any comments? Dislike comments?
The comments are loading. They haven't come through.
There's 320 dislikes?
People don't
no,
like that I
can't-
use so much water.
I can't read these comments.
Is that water? It sounds like you're showering in pennies.
With pennies, I think was what.
Ha 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 ha. Nice ideas of shower diaries.
Oh, that's great.
She clearly is from America.
Yes.
Apparently.
This is my favorite comment. Yes.
Love it. All right, enough on the shower diaries.
No, I have so much more to say about it.
Okay.
Oh, here's a good. If you need a co-host, let me know.
You see, nothing sexual there.
Boring.
Yeah, that was me.
That's
lied
Yeah,
about
this
that.
guy says, yeah,
8 minutes
minutes
and 50 seconds.
What was I saying? 8 minutes and 50. Oh my God, I can't.
8 minutes and 50 seconds of my life I'll never get back.
Wait,
Yeah,
you don't have
thank you.
All right, well, do you have the news sound, or maybe we can put Autumn to work here since she's actually kind of sort of with us.
Guys, so
Yeah.
many things have been happening. We didn't know about it though because of this ice storm.
What's happening besides? Oh, well, you're not going to give us any kind of ice storm update? Is that your way of saying I haven't even looked
that's-
outside?
Yeah, we have some. A lot of people are very concerned about the Atlanta's trees.
Yeah, I saw that. How many are they saying that we could lose up to
A quarter.
a quarter of the trees? Is that really true?
I don't know. It says that it's not unreasonable to expect that Atlanta could lose a quarter of its trees this storm.
Well,
So I assume that includes trees that are already diseased or hollow or rotten or something.
Yeah, they were weaklings. They weren't
Yeah.
the best trees, I think.
So they deserve to
It
die.
was Darwin's birthday. Yeah, it was Darwin's birthday, so
Yes.
the trees that are weak should go.
The trees that can't make it.
Don't you wish that's the approach humans took? Still, I know that we have in the past.
Yes.
But the weaklings, get rid of them.
Get rid of them. What do you need them
That's right.
for? Huh? Now we're all soft and we make them
Save
special.
all the trees.
I think that Atlanta has too many trees, if you ask me. If you had
Too
less
many?
trees, well, I mean, if you had less trees, you'd have less power outages when stuff like this happens. I guess if you buried the power lines, you would as well. But I think that it's hilarious to me that people are concerned about the planet. We don't have enough trees, and I don't know where they're living, but where I'm living, you can't turn around. There's too many. We could do with a quarter less. Weed it out. Don't you think?
I think that when you fly, you notice that, and I always have the thought people complain about littering and trash and landfills. There's plenty of room for it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of room on this planet. Absolutely.
Just throw the trash everywhere.
I love when people say, "Well, we're running out of places to put the trash." It's like, is the Earth full? Like the inside of the Earth is completely full with trash. We can't put any more down there.
I like how they tried to use the the Native American, excuse me.
Oh,
with the tear because
yes.
of garbage. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that Indian's crying for about 90 million other injustices in his life. He threw a coffee cup out his car. How about we're destroying your entire people, leveling your lands, and hoarding you into actually onto trash piles.
Yes.
That's what it was. They put reservations into dumps and trash piles. He's not crying because you're littering. He's crying because he has to live on top of your filth. And now they can't even get jobs in the casinos.
This was in the late '60s, early '70s. The Indians, the question,
Still had
the Indian question had been settled at that point.
So settled. Watch
He
your
felt-
language.
And Indians were so popular
Still
back then.
offensive.
He felt that you were ruining his country. He didn't mind that you came here, took over,
Raped
spread
and
disease,
pillaged.
did all this sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
no.
But just take care of the land. We'll turn it
That's what
over
it is.
to you. But come on, this is
We'll give it to you, and we'll live in the worst parts of it for you. But
the straw.
shut up.
You know that guy is Italian. He wasn't even a real Indian. Did you know that?
Was he
Yeah,
really?
he's
Yeah,
an
of course
Italian,
he
he was
was.
an Italian actor.
He was a Goomba.
Didn't he? Wasn't he? What's he? As
He was
I
crying
recall,
because he didn't get typecast. He was trying to go out for the Godfather series, and they put him in a stupid feather in his hair.
That's why he's crying. He just found out all
Exactly,
the
yeah.
real parts that he lost to Al Pacino. You guys, this is a YouTube probably thing for you, but I remember being 5, 6 years old and watching those ads. I'm sure I saw them a little bit later too. But my favorite one was he's kind of canoeing, remember this is all from memory, but he's canoeing down a small, not even river, but just a canal type of thing, and he sees like he's canoeing it like he sees like a 6-pack, plastic and stuff all around, and so they would have him. There was more than one ad. It'd be all these different ads, and then he would always end up crying at the end. So everything he did, I don't know why this Indian even went outside. He knew what he was in for. He didn't
Yeah.
like the way the planet looked.
Whatever, get over yourself.
Should have just offed himself. That should have been the final ad. See what littering does. This man took his life.
Puts a gun to his head.
We just should have sent him to Canada.
Look what
Plenty
you've
of room
done.
there.
Yeah, there's plenty of room in Canada.
I'm sorry. The people that say that we're expanding too much. There's too much building happening. The cities are getting too big.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to middle of America? It's nothing.
Yeah, fly from Atlanta to Los Angeles.
Yeah. Drive.
And
How about that? Be like me and be poor and drive all across this country because that's what I do.
Yes.
For
Is
work.
it even cheaper to drive across the country?
You know what it is sometimes? What blows my mind is that I could fly from Atlanta to Trenton, New Jersey, let's say.
Yeah.
One of the greatest, most delicious cities on the planet if you like the smell of
Yeah.
balls.
Trenton
And a
makes
comedy-
I'm talking about Atlanta.
Trenton makes the world takes. By the way,
Is that their
yes,
slogan?
that's their slogan.
Yeah, it sounds like they got a chip on their shoulder.
And for $150 round trip,
Right.
Amtrak, it's like $600.
Yeah.
How does Amtrak exist? How is it a thing anymore?
People who are afraid to fly.
I'm not afraid to fly for that much money.
No, I mean, how do they exist is a good question. First of all, they're subsidized, but I mean, they by the government. But I would think the only people on trains are people who are afraid to fly.
I still don't think there's
And
enough
they don't,
people.
and the bus just seems a little too low to them.
I would like to take a train. Like, I want to take a train because it seems
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that
they're not
romantic
fun.
notion
No.
of like smoking a cigarette with a tranny
I took
in the
the
dining
train.
car.
I took the train back up to New York, 17 hours from Atlanta. The only
it
reason I
decent?
did it was because it was cheaper. It was $160, but this was around Christmas, so flights were.
Well, one way.
Yeah.
Okay.
One-way flight was $500 at that point. Here's the first hour of my experience. I got on the train, got the window seat. This woman had to sit next to me. I really want the window seat. I really want the window seat. I wish I had the window seat. Just speaking to herself, knowing I was listening to her, as if I would give up the window seat, but I didn't. I wanted the window seat.
So
I
you're
wanted
just
the
speaking out
scenery.
loud.
What else do you have on the train, other than looking out the window?
Right.
I'm not giving that to her.
So
Also, it's a nice
Was
place.
the train that full that she couldn't move to another seat that had an open window?
No, it was packed. Train was packed.
Wow.
The
you're
Crescent Line
stuck
from New Orleans to New York.
Oh, you're stuck inside that thing. People farting for 2 days. That is horrible. That is terrible.
really wasn't
It was
horrible.
a plane.
You
I
can
mean,
get a sleeping car, right?
I've always thought that's the way that I would ride on a train, is a sleeping car. But I think that they're unbelievably expensive. It's just not
Yeah.
worth it.
And I don't think you'd fit in the sleeping car. They're really small.
Are you saying I'm overweight? What are you saying?
You did eat a biscuit and
We
some
do wear
coffee
the
cake.
same size jacket,
Yes.
which is incredible to me. I took a train the first time, or maybe the only time I've taken a train long distance from, I think it was Miami to like Jacksonville. Like we were on vacation one year as a family, and they drove, but at that time we had a small car. And so, like, they were like, "Well, Mike, just take a train. We'll meet you down there." They took the big fat kid and said, "You know what? We'll just train you down." But I remember on the way back, because I always looked older than I am, like, because I always had facial hair or whatever.
Yeah.
And
When
so
you were
I
born.
snuck into the cocktail car, and they didn't like stop me. And it was the first time I ever interacted with a tranny.
Oh, really?
And I hope that's the
that's why you brought
appropriate
that
word.
up.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
well,
'cause- and
I like
because
the fact you say it's the first time.
yeah,
I
well,
wanna hear about
definitely
the
not
fourth.
last
I wanna
time.
hear about the
Well,
fourth time,
Last
but-
night, I told you last night got weird. I got and I was
Did
in there.
you know it was a tranny? How old are you at this point?
Oh, it was clear. It was like me with tits. Like
Okay.
it was definitely a tranny. I'm sorry, with bigger tits.
Okay, I was
I'm
gonna
aware of myself. No, they were all smoking, taking drinks, and I went and like one of them, like I got a beer, and I was like, I was 17. It
Right,
was
okay.
amazing. Best experience.
See,
ever.
that's you. That's every train ride is like that, but they've gotten worse over the years.
And I got off a different man. You guys can't tell me what to do. I just smoked a cigarette with a tranny.
Is that all you
Clean
did?
my room. Screw you, mom.
Sounds like you
Oh,
lost your
man.
virginity on that train ride.
No. I lost a certain type of virginity, but definitely not the old.
Yeah.
What
Mouth virginity?
Yeah, my mouth virginity.
what was your age when you lost your virginity?
Me?
In fact, yes.
19.
Why would it take that long
19.
to know?
I was trying to remember. Well, I was gonna say because I was a freshman in college, so I guess I was 19. I'm
Well,
not
that's
good with
cool.
age. Like people ask me how long you been doing comedy. I'm like between 7 and 2 years. I don't remember how old I was. Like I think I was 25, 26 when I started comedy. No, I was
Yeah.
19 when I finally did the do.
Yeah, I think that's great that you made it all the way through high school.
Oh yeah, me too.
Did you
it
feel
was
like
awesome?
Did you did you lie to people in high school and tell them?
Of course
that
I
you,
did.
Okay.
I
At
told
what
people, I
age?
told people in middle school that I was having sex. What are you talking about? I'm always, yeah, absolutely. I lied through my teeth, as I'm sure every adolescent did.
Well, yeah,
ever.
but you know-
you lied, right, Greg?
I didn't lie.
You didn't lie. You just were actually having sex.
No, I had sex with one person in high school. I was
See,
17.
You got laid in high school. I didn't. I
I
was
did.
19.
I didn't need to lie. No one asked. I don't think anyone
It
liked
was,
me.
I wasn't
no one
walking.
cared.
Let's clarify. I wasn't walking around going.
No. But
Come
when
here,
guys,
if I had sex with a girl yesterday, like it wasn't like if it's
Right.
like when the conversation got up, it's like you've had sex, right? Like yeah, totally, bro.
you know when
It's great. I felt like Steve Carell from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Like when
I'm-
that movie came out, I resonated highly with it because it was the same thing. It was like, yeah, I was all over a boob.
That's what I
It
was gonna say.
great.
Yeah, when when I was a teenager and the guys get together, and none of us had ever done a thing, but we're all telling each other that we have.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hilarious to me. I'm sure the things that I said that I was doing were just as ridiculous, but I don't really remember them. But I remember what people would tell me,
Yeah.
and it's always like a helpful hint. They really like it when you put your hand behind the guy doesn't know
man.
anything. I can't even. It's too explicit. I can't say it now, but
It
everybody
is
else,
the
everybody
internet.
else
You
around-
could say, but I'd prefer you not to.
right.
Um,
We might want to go mainstream. one
a
day.
kid told me once, my friend, he says, you put some peanut butter in a plastic bag, put that in the microwave for 30 seconds, and it feels like a boob. And I did it. I went home. I was like, wow, this is what I have to look forward to. So soft and warm.
But you used chunk style, so it was all like tumoury. What is going on? What kind of boobs are these?
What's going on?
Have you done that since? Because maybe it's true. Because that was before you felt a boob.
Yeah.
Sounds like an
The
experiment is
comparison,
a
all right,
brewing.
we'll try it. I'll
Well, so what do we need now? How
There's a
much-
microwave. Here's
We
the
have
thing.
a microwave.
Here's the
We
thing.
have peanut butter.
Well,
We
in
have
my,
a microwave.
In my hotel, I have a microwave, but I did buy the crunchy peanut butter. I went to Kroger, by the way, and this was my supplies. These are the supplies I got: pudding cups,
Yeah.
bread, and crunchy peanut butter. And that's how I've
Is
been
that all there was
surviving.
left?
No,
They
there's
were
plenty
full?
of things left. That's
Okay.
all I wanted. But anyway, I could
No
try
raisins?
it. Raisins.
Just saying.
Who eats raisins?
I think this is good survival food.
Raisin
it's
is
not.
not. No.
Why is it good? It's terrible.
Raisins?
Raisins
No,
stink.
no
Since
one- who
when are
likes-
raisins terrible?
I don't know. Have you ever had trail mix?
You ever have Waldorf
What's
salad?
left in the bottom of it?
No, because it
No,
has
no.
raisins.
And because
That's-
I'm not a millionaire.
My mom used to make it.
Yeah, your mom was a millionaire,
Yeah, of
Eric,
course.
get over it.
Of course.
Quit bragging.
Well, my point is, I have peanut butter, and we have a microwave, and we have time.
Where's Michael's boob? Is this going to be the comparison?
First of all,
Well, you've felt boobs in your life at this
Autumn,
point.
get
so
here
we
now.
can
Autumn,
compare.
get here now.
Yeah.
We can compare and contrast it sometime later. I don't know.
Autumn can provide the milk. Oh!
Hey!
You get it?
Bring it.
No,
Do you
I don't
get
get it. I didn't get it.
Well, peanut butter, you got to have something to wash it down. All right.
I got it. How much peanut butter do you need? I missed that. How much?
It wasn't specified.
So you put.
You need
Just,
enough
I-
peanut
I
butter.
depends
Oh, I
on the
guess as
bag,
much
right?
as the
It would
biggest,
depend on the size
biggest
of the bag.
I didn't. I just. I
as
probably
big
put-
as the boob want it to be. You put that much peanut
Yeah,
butter.
there you go.
Just
But
a
did your mom-
handful. Just a handful's enough for me. That's all the peanut butter I need.
Did your mom come home and say, "What the hell happened to the peanut butter? We had a whole jar."
No, I didn't use the whole jar. I used like 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons?
Yeah, I made. I just. Because I was.
You're gay.
I was nervous. I was. As I
I was
would have
nervous.
been if it were a real girl. I was nervous, so I just put a little bit, and I was testing the waters. That's all.
It'd be like a.
Yeah, there wasn't much. It just like
Like
the corner. So let's just say a normal size Ziploc bag. I don't know what the standard size of those is, but it just in the corner. You shoved it down in the corner, and
Micro boob.
Do you think your friend did anything else with that bag of peanut butter? It
Yeah,
seems
who
like
knows?
going.
Do you
Yeah.
think he did anything with the rest of that bag of peanut
yeah.
butter? That's what he was embarrassed
I
about.
mean, if it feels like a boob,
Yeah.
it can be folded to feel like other things as well. I would think.
Exactly. Anything folded.
I can't wait for the show to end so that I can try this out. All right, Autumn. What else? What else we got?
Oh, Sid
Oh.
Caesar died.
Sid Caesar. Do you even know who that is?
It's kind of sad. The only reason why I know him is because I saw him in Grease
Coach Calhoun.
and National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation.
Yeah, he was Coach Calhoun in Greece. I think that's the only reason that people your age would even know who Sid Caesar is.
Right.
He was.
I knew the name, and I knew he was, like a vaudeville type older comedian,
he
but
was-
I didn't know
He,
from
he
before.
was like with Milton Berle, and I don't know if they were competitors, but he was.
Oh, not vaudeville.
No, he came out of vaudeville.
Borscht Belt, right? Borscht Belt.
Same thing. He came out of vaudeville.
Oh, is it?
But he was one of the first big comedy stars on TV, and I'm sure
Right.
people like Michael who are comedians now don't even know who the hell he is.
I know who
or-
Sid Caesar is.
Yeah, all right, very good. Well, let's. Coach Calhoun is how he's best known.
We're gonna yank him and tear him and rip him. We're gonna take him and roll him around and rip him up to pieces. And then we're gonna slaughter him.
Lost another one to heroin, which to me I just think is terrible at 85. A guy like that, he had so much to
Made
live
it-
for.
He was 91, wasn't
Was
he?
he 91? How old
Yeah.
was he?
91.
91 years.
Tell me I don't know who Sid Caesar is. Look,
Ah,
hands
you're
off
all
the
the-
computer.
You got an alert on your smartphone when he died. Comedian
look,
down.
No, man, he Annie Hall, MASH,
Yes.
Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, he
Guy
did.
was an animal.
Yeah. So
Who
yeah,
was he on
I forgot
Blazing
he was in
Saddles?
Blazing Saddles.
He was. I don't remember who he was on Blazing. I know he was on it. I know. I'm very good with a little bit amount of information.
Are you sure? Look that up,
can
Greg.
look
I don't remember him in Blazing Saddles, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was because Mel Brooks worked on that. I think your show of shows with him. But if you go, Sid Caesar was. I'm not saying that he wasn't funny. I'm not going to say that. He was a brilliant dude, but the idea of what was funny in 1952 and what's funny now. If we did the same things that are like, if we on this show did bits that are now legendary in comedy, but we did the same bit today.
that peanut butter bit's gonna go down in history.
Actually, we stole that from Sid Caesar. He did that in 1951 on your show of shows.
He was shock jock of the time.
I think it was kind of easier to do comedy back then. I mean, I really do. I had a little thing up there. This is, I think, from your show of shows.
Professor, you are one of the world's foremost architects and archaeologists. Now, Professor, in all your diggings, why would it be possible for you to say that the Egyptian architecture is the most sturdy and everlasting?
Well, you see, they built simply. Their architecture, when we dug it up, was still in good shape. Because they built simply, like, look at the pyramids. 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 Hit me over here. Look at the pyramids. Look at that. That's it.
And listen to that audience going crazy over that.
Yeah, I don't understand anything that just happened.
What was the joke there?
The joke
Look
is,
at the pyramids.
He's a professor of archaeology. Go back. We'll go through it again. Maybe he's a professor of archaeology, and Carl Reiner is...
The world's foremost architects and archaeologists. Now, Professor, in all your diggings, why would it be possible for you to say that the Egyptian architecture is the most sturdy and everlasting?
Well,
See, this is where I lose it, because I don't understand what he's saying. I can't even understand him.
you see, they built simply.
They
Their
built
architecture,
simply.
when we dug it up, was still in good shape.
good shape.
So he's, yeah, and it's
Yeah.
funny, the
Now,
German
joke-
accent there.
Yeah, the accent's hilarious. And then he
It's
does
hilarious.
one of these things where he just kind of gets stuck and repeats the same thing again. And then if you listen close enough, then Carl Reiner hits him in the head and he gets back on track.
Because they built simply, like, look at the pyramids. Look at the pyramids. Look at the pyramids.
The audience a little bit.
Look at the pyramids. Look at the pyramids. Hit me over here. Look at the pyramids. Look at that. That's it.
See, that's the joke. He smacked him on the side of the head. And I don't know, Michael,
funny.
you think you can get away with that on a little comedy stage and this laughing skull? You think people would be blown away by that?
Well, no, one, because you'd be a hack. I mean,
You're calling Sid Caesar a hack?
No, because he's the first guy. I'd be ripping him off.
Do you think that's funny?
Yeah, because it's a time capsule. It's a part,
Right,
it's a part
I
of
get
history.
all,
Yeah,
I get all
absolutely.
that, and I'm not putting the guy down.
Yeah,
I
no,
just
no.
really think, and I think it was easier to do comedy in 1952. There just wasn't as much. Look this thing up.
Well, it was easier, I think, in the sense that not every topic had been covered already,
Right.
and you could
Like,
anything you
repeating
say.
yourself.
Yeah, there's no like every angle of having a girlfriend has been covered. It's just how
Yeah.
you can differentiate your voice between one comic to the next is how you can be original.
That's right.
But then, nothing was being talked about. So anytime you decided to take one step forward, it was brand new.
Yeah, if you think
essentially.
about it, in 1952, if you're doing airplane humor,
Yeah,
most
it's
of
the
the
best.
audience has never been on a plane.
Now that's not. That's still it is
It's like,
possible.
wow, a plane.
It is possible to still get airplane jokes across. There's a couple comics. Sean Patton's one of my favorite
Right.
comics. He has some airplane material.
Right.
Airline
No, I'm not
material
saying it's
that's-
not. No,
But it's one of the things you don't do as a comic is talk about airplanes.
Right.
I mean, not like you don't do it, but
Right,
it's
no,
the
but
kind of thing. It's
my point is what you were saying. I was following up on what you were saying. The innocence of the times.
Exactly.
If he's doing airplane humor in 1952,
Yeah, he's
most
killing
of the
it.
most of the audience is going, airplane. He's been on an airplane. I mean,
Exactly.
No, it's like completely exotic to them, and so it probably was like that a lot. Look up. I don't know if we can find it, but there's like George Burns and Gracie Allen. They made before they got famous. Their big thing on stage was a piece called the Lamb Chop song or something like that. Just put in Lamb Chop. And I mean, there's people are losing their minds over this song in the audience. I mean, just rolling hysterically, killing in a way that you just rarely see these days in comedy clubs. And I'm talking, and both you guys are on computers. I feel like I'm talking.
Well, I'm
to
looking
the-
for the
Autumn, you're closer to me right now than Greg and Michael are, so feel free to
Well, I'm
jump in.
just Sid Caesar.
Well, I did look up the Sid Caesar Blazing Saddles thing,
Yes,
and it doesn't look like he's in it, but
he was on
when
set.
Mongo punches out the horse,
Yes,
that was inspired by Sid Caesar because he and his wife were trail riding, and her horse was giving her problems, and Sid Caesar, who is described here as a physically imposing and somewhat violent man, he punched the horse in the face.
I did not know that it was a violent man.
Who knew?
I have to read the rest. Did you find that or not?
I haven't found it.
Okay, here's
Oh, here it is.
What is this, on a record? All right, this was their huge song. Made them famous. Nice build up. Da-da-da-da.
There they are, right there. That's them.
Oh, yeah.
Say
This
hello
is
to
8
everybody.
minutes.
Hello, everybody.
Are they going to sing the
But I
song or
remember
not?
you
At some point they'll sing the song.
I
assume.
know. Let's do 8 minutes.
Home last Tuesday night?
All right, good.
And
I
remember
can't
you
wait.
left my house about brains I haven't even used.
No, why? What is it that sings and has 4 legs?
Two canaries.
I'm doing very well. Well, I'll see you again.
Was I wrong
Lovely.
again?
You're never wrong. I've got one more.
They're
This
funny when they
is
go
the
back and
last
forth.
Yes.
one. Jump out of the plane.
Giddy, believe me, I'm no fool.
I love you, love you, love you, dear. I cross my heart, I do. Do you believe me?
I do.
This is comedy.
Now you're the first and only girl I ever told that to. Do you believe me?
I do.
And if things went wrong and skies above are gray
Are they in
instead
front of an audience?
A lot of long setups
you
back in
wouldn't
the day.
have to worry, cause I
This is
know just
hilarious.
what to do. I'd get up early morning
Yes.
and I'd find a job for you. Do you believe me?
I
It is funny. He's lying to her, but she's believing him.
I know. If you go to the,
The
end,
age-old
it gets more
foolery.
jokey. Yeah. The age-old thing. That's enough. We're running people away with our George Burns material. All right, so Sid
We're bringing in
Caesar-
a whole new audience.
I'm not.
Absolutely.
the
Yeah, I'm not- yeah.
geriatrics are now
That's
big
right.
fans of. Hey, Patreon.
Maybe I can get vitamin commercials.
Yeah, send them to Patreon.
Some of those people.
Scam them into giving money to the show.
Scam everybody to give money to the show. Sid Caesar was a genius. I'm not knocking him. I just think it was easier to do comedy, and the world was more innocent. I mean, for
Oh.
the first 10 years
Innocent,
of movies,
punching
or
horses in the
first
face.
20 years of movies, all they did was beat each other up and stab each other in the eyes, poke each other in the eyes. And, I mean, audiences just fell all over themselves. So what else is in the news?
Well, Bruce Jenner.
Oh.
I thought that this was going to just be another story about Bruce Jenner being divorced and, you know, living his life the way he wants to. But apparently he wants to live his life as a woman.
This is official now?
I don't know if it's official, but it's definitely going around that he had his Adam's apple shaved.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. He's had a lot of work done. He's had a lot of work done over the last couple of years. And
he's growing his hair out.
yeah.
And he had it dyed so it looks kind of lighter.
Mhm.
And it looks like he had they didn't say this in the article, but they showed a before and after. And, you know, before he had, you know, a hairline that, you know, went back
Yeah.
on the two sides and forward, like not a widow's peak, but then in the next picture he had it straight across. So like maybe he's getting some plugs or
Oh, he's getting all kinds of work done. You look at that face. He can't even. I think he
Yeah.
looks like the Joker. He can only
he
keep
looks
his lips in
pretty
that
taut.
half smile.
He looks old.
And how old is Bruce Jenner? I remember Bruce Jenner winning all those medals in the mid '70s. How old is he?
Is he in his 50s?
No, he's got to be. He's older. I'm in my 50s. I'll be 50 this year. I
He
was
born
a kid.
in 49,
Okay.
October of 49, so he's 64 years old.
So who
Oh, he's in his
decides to
60s.
become a woman when they're 64? It's a little bit late in the game. It's, you know, it's
No.
my last act. I'm just going to get super weird for the last 10 years. Thank you. I'm out of here. Why
It is
at
really
64?
You know, I mean, that's.
But he's finally divorced. He can live on his own terms. is
You know what
they
I
say.
wonder? I wonder. I hate to be so cynical that if he thinks I want to have my own reality show, and if I get weird enough and do enough strange things, I'll become interesting enough to have my own spin-off reality show.
And it's sad it takes that much effort to become more interesting than the Kardashians.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. He should,
First of all, Bruce Jenner, just for what he did in the Olympics, in most people's minds, should be a hell of a lot more interesting than Kim Kardashian. But I guess it doesn't work that way.
I mean,
Well, if you watch the show, he's not interesting anymore.
was he ever?
He won.
Well, I mean, at the
No,
time,
within the show, within the context of this show.
I never saw the show.
no. I only watch it for research purposes.
Of course,
today.
sure.
You're a pop culture consultant.
Exactly. So, yeah, he is super boring, and he really seems like he doesn't really want to be involved in the show at all.
just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems like he doesn't want to be involved in his own identity either.
I guess not.
I think
Yeah,
the only
so,
people watching that show, watching that show, are just like bloggers and pundits and,
Yeah,
and
Rodney
Joel
Ho.
McHale, so we can talk about it on the soup. That's it.
Sure.
And Autumn, of course.
But it will not, well, for research purposes. No, that's not true, though. I'm sure America's still enamored with these people, or they wouldn't still be on. I
I've
mean, look at
watched-
all the different housewife shows there are. There's like 17 of them, more than Law and
No,
Order.
but that's good. That's actually good
Oh, really?
television.
What?
That's correct. I like the strident, the strident. Is that
What
a word,
about
stridency?
Mob Wives? You watch that one on him?
I have watched it. I don't really care
Not
for it.
in-
'cause
so
it
what-
seems-
Go ahead.
everyone's so angry and fighting and saying like, I will cut you. Like it's too much.
That's all of them, though, right? What's the line that you draw? What's a good reality show?
Yeah,
And
what's
what's
the
a bad
difference, what's
one?
the difference between the Housewives of Atlanta and the Mob Wives?
Has anybody
I
seen?
love Housewives of Atlanta.
Has anybody
Love
seen Rich
it.
Kids of Beverly Hills?
No, I have not seen
I
that yet.
stomached
No, I
through
didn't
one
watch it.
episode of that, and it is amazing. Because
That
there
show
is.
seems too fake.
Well, I think it's how fake can you be when you're children of like multi-millionaire, like the giant black kid on there.
Yeah.
That look.
Oh, no, that's not Magic Johnson's son.
That's Magic Johnson's
He's
kid.
like-
and
he's-
Magic Johnson's a billionaire,
he's
or
total-
he's pretty close.
He's totally queened out, Magic Johnson's kid.
What do you mean cleaned out?
Queened out.
Oh, queened out, like cleaned out, like his money. Like I'm pretty sure.
No, he's gay. He's out of the closet, but I
Really?
I'm saying not
Yeah, I
everybody
know.
is as hip as you, Mike. Some people may not know that.
Some people don't have ears or eyes.
It's possible.
I didn't
anyway,
know.
See, well, look at
You
you.
didn't see it though either. You don't know who we're talking about.
No, Magic
I'm just
Johnson's
taking
kid
Eric's side.
a few months ago came out of the closet, but he's more than out of the closet. I mean, he's very flamboyant. Is a good word. I mean, he's.
That's how Magic Johnson got AIDS.
Oh, come on. Are you starting that rumor?
Yeah. You heard it here first.
How did he get it? I don't even know how he says
Well,
he got
play the news sound.
it. So did you like the show or not? I mean, is he
Beverly-
interesting? I mean, my point is,
It's
that
interesting to
he's
see.
flamboyant, so is
No,
he
no,
fun
no.
to watch?
He's look. I saw one episode, and it's just for me, it's unbearable to watch these like late teen, early 20s, just absolute, complete, and utter idiots with disrespect for like they have no concept of anything. They're just
Right.
like, oh my god, I'm renting a yacht for $20,000. Like you can't even understand what they're saying half
Yeah.
the time.
They
And
can
it's-
understand each other. It's that they don't need to
No, and
communicate with the outside
they
world.
fight over, like it's I don't know. I saw one episode just because it was snow day and it's bad. It's bad.
Oh, she saw it yesterday.
It's anger.
What is
oh
it
yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah.
What is it to come on after Judge Alex?
Yeah, it's on after Judge Alex. Yeah. This is a bad show.
How about
Watch it though, because it'll help you feel better about yourself. I thought I was gonna feel like shit afterwards
Yeah.
because it's like, man, I don't have all that money. But I was like, you know what? I'd rather be poor and be me
and
than-
have friends that are real.
than be anything close to what these people are.
But I don't know what the difference is, but I know all the reality shows are fake, right? They're scripted, but for some reason there's certain ones that don't seem as fake to me, or I just believe them more, and so I love those.
Well,
shows.
some people
But-
are better at it than others. The duck guys are better at it than the kids from Beverly Hills. What are they called? Rich kids from Beverly Hills.
Rich Kids of Beverly
Wait, the
Hills.
Duck
yeah.
Dynasty? You're saying those Duck Dynasty guys are better at it?
Well, obviously they are because people love them. I mean, they're.
No, people are stupid.
Well,
that show's terrible.
I've never. That's another one. I
I
just
know
don't watch
Zaxby's
reality.
decided to pick him up on a commercial lately.
Yeah, I thought the guy was pretty good on it though. He's a halfway decent actor. I thought.
Look, and
Watching
who,
those-
Right, but
and who likes gay
It's
people?
just like,
am I right?
what are we going to do today?
The
I
guy-
don't know. Let's,
the guy on the
I wonder if Mr. Johnson's down at the store. Oh, hey, Mr. Johnson.
Is that what that show is?
That's
I
exactly.
want to watch
that's all
now.
of it right there. It's
Just walk into
tempting.
the store.
The guy on the Zaxby's commercial did not say the gay stuff. It was his dad.
Okay, he's whatever.
You share every opinion your father had.
Absolutely.
And by
I
the way,
hate that guy because he is, promoting Zaxby's, and Zaxby's is terrible.
what?
What? Hang
What's
up.
wrong
I know,
with
I'm
you?
going
Hang,
against
hang
it.
up on her.
No. How is what's that? They
I
have, like-
agree. Delicious fried chicken, French
Absolutely.
fries, and dipping sauces that are only a quarter a piece. You get out of here.
Terrible.
With that.
Terrible.
Take,
They're
take
too
your Nazi
expensive. You end up
propaganda out of
spending
here.
$10 for some
Well, there
chicken
goes-
that you could get.
Hey,
I'm
Greg,
thinking-
cancel my appointment with the Zaxby's people for advertising this afternoon.
it.
Apparently,
Zaxby's.
apparently I have a
Guys,
member
all
of the
fat
show who
cider.
won't. So I want to talk to you. Hold on, I'm going to do a couple more stories, but I want to dwell into the Judge Alex thing that happened yesterday
Yeah.
when we get done with
Yeah.
the news, because now we know what happened and you
can.
can tell us more
Yeah,
about it.
Speaking
about
of
it.
great television, let's go.
Amazing television. Thank you. I got 2 applause breaks. Thank you.
Awesome. You know what? I forgot to watch it. Can you believe that? I forgot to
can.
watch it. And but is it? Can we pull it up
Yeah, you can
somewhere?
probably
Is the
watch
whole
it online.
thing? So give me another story here. We'll ramble through this and then get to that.
Sure, yeah. Did you hear about the, that Corvette museum?
Did you hear
that's
about? Wait,
in,
hold on a second. Hold
Tennessee?
on a second. You made Greg laugh there. Did you hear about it? Is that what it was? Did you hear about this? Hey,
Oh,
Sounds
sorry.
like you're setting up a joke.
it's like Leno. Hey, did you hear about this? Yeah, apparently
Yeah,
President
what's
Obama.
the deal with these Corvettes?
Yeah. So I know what you're talking about, the sinkhole at the Corvette Museum
Yes.
that took out like 6 Corvette's worth millions and millions of dollars.
good.
I went down into the
Good.
sinkhole. There's
And
video
yes,
of it.
It's a huge sinkhole, and the dome section of this museum just started to collapse, and I think got 6 or 7 cars.
Yeah, there's
These super
yeah.
expensive, rare Corvettes.
Look, the Corvette is the dumb rich man's car. I'm
Why is
rich.
that?
I want to impress people. They just go for
Yeah.
the Corvette. They don't know
Yeah.
anything about cars. They think Corvettes are cool, and they'll pick up the chicks with the Corvette.
No, it's
Well,
the
Corvettes
middle-aged
are
guy.
pretty cool.
Huh?
Corvettes, if it don't, I mean, not
No.
if you have it as a daily driver, you're an idiot,
Yeah,
and you deserve to run over stop signs.
of course.
It's trashy. I find it to be trashy.
Oh man, you get a nice Corvette. I like old Corvettes. They're nice. Like the
The ones in the
63,
60s.
64.
The ones
to
that were made of-
split window. Come
yeah,
on,
the ones that are
you
made
can't
of,
find a better car to me than that.
before fiberglass. I like them. I don't really like that. I don't really don't like their look after fiberglass.
The Datsun Z series is what I'd go with. You want to
Yes.
get? You want to
you wanna
get?
get chicks? That's the way to do it.
Exactly.
You don't really dislike the Corvettes. You don't like the people who drive them.
Yeah,
the car
that's-
itself.
But the
is
car is
fine.
representative of those people.
It
That's
might
why it's
be.
an extension of them. It's these guys who
are-
have this preconceived notion of what it takes. Okay, that's a good-looking car.
You're telling me that's not
fine.
a hot car? The
It's a hot car.
63.
Yeah, it looks like it
Get
could
outta
fly into
here.
outer space, and that's great. But
You don't want anything that
they have this
rednecks are
preconceived
associated
notion.
with.
Hey, I've got the money now. I'm going to show off to the world, and the girls are going to jump right in through the open T-top into my Corvette, and we're going to go to
Well,
my
it must
mansion.
work.
And
It must work.
You can
People
tell
do
me you
it.
don't like the movie Grease now?
Yeah. I mean, come on, it works.
it shouldn't work. It angers me that it works.
It's middle-aged guys who work in radio sales and usually in GMs for radio stations and people who own radio stations. Those types. They're middle-aged
Ooh.
and they get the Corvettes. And yeah, they leave their wives at home and they tell them they have to go do some business, and instead they go to a bar somewhere in Buckhead. I'm not going to say which one, and they pick up
And they
young
make
chicks
love
and
to their Corvette.
Exactly. They take them to their little high rise somewhere in Buckhead that the wife doesn't know about, and I'm not saying all people who own radio stations do this. I'm just saying some people. So
You know where I'm coming from.
I know where you're coming from, but I know the specific point in your life where this happened, and I know it was around radio people.
There's the
I believe there
very
were 2 who had a Corvette at one point, but equal dumbasses. But you can't blame the car. As a car person, I would say a Corvette is a fantastic car.
Absolutely.
It's like I don't. If you play some of Metallica's best material for me, I'll say, yeah, that's a really good rock and roll band. When I was a teenager, I hated the people who were into heavy metal. I wasn't a big fan of heavy metal, but it was more like I don't want to go to a concert and be around the
Around
other
all those
people
people,
who
yeah.
like that band.
How
So
do I
think that's
send
you
this?
feel about
How do I
Corvettes.
send this picture to that TV there?
You'd have to do it through. Is there a Chromecast?
Living room.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a-
I have to turn on. You have to. I got to stop casting first. Why? What do you want to show us?
The Datsun Z series. This is a good-looking car.
Many people are online watching this thing.
If you
Certainly
could-
Google.
Yeah, let them Google.
No, I need to show this thing off. If you can find one that's not rusted out, this is the car to get. You don't agree?
Tell me it again. I'm
Datsun
still looking at. I'm
Z.
still masturbating over this Corvette.
240Z. I've already masturbated twice over this car.
240Z.
Well, since the show started. All right,
Okay,
go ahead
yeah,
and try
that's
to.
a great car. But what does that mean? That looks almost exactly like a Corvette.
No. Whatever. It's not working.
What year are we talking here?
It doesn't matter what year. They're all brilliant.
Yeah, Datsun or Nissan as it is these days.
Yeah, there are no more Datsuns left.
I think there's still not Datsun in Europe.
Have you seen the video? Has anybody here seen the video? There's
Hot
no
car.
audio to it, but there was a security cam video of these Corvettes just being eaten up by this sinkhole. That's
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
millions
I
and
don't
millions.
understand.
One of the
how
Corvettes, by the way,
no
one of
knew.
the Corvettes is the millionth Corvette that was ever made. And it was
Right.
there, and it's one of the ones down the sinkhole. They don't even know what that's worth. You can't know what that's worth until you put it up for
Right.
auction. But it's the millionth Corvette ever made, which would make
They
it worth
said that it
quite
could,
a bit.
at an auction, it could get several $1 million from the right.
In a related story, my dad raised our family as a car dealer who's a car salesman, and
Oh.
he sold one of the few 25th anniversary Corvettes that were ever made. He was one of the. He sold, I think, 1 or 2 of them.
How many did they make?
So
Are they-
you're welcome, everybody.
for that.
Thank you.
Brought to you courtesy
Yeah.
of Mike's dad.
Absolutely.
Was he? So he
So
was a new.
hopefully, yeah.
Go ahead. So he was a new.
Yeah, I don't understand how this happened and how someone didn't know that
Well, it's
underneath this area was
it's
maybe
Kentucky.
rotted or
I believe it was the
in-
Corvette Museum in Kentucky, right?
Right.
And Kentucky is got,
National Corvette Museum in Kentucky.
Kentucky has that's a lot of caverns and underground.
Right.
And so even though probably 20 years ago, whenever this structure was built, it was probably fine, but the ground in that part of Kentucky is very shifty. So you get the water table rises.
You know
or
why?
something and
Fracking. That's
I'll
all. We don't have
bet
to get into it.
I'll bet it was
We
fracking.
don't have to get into it, but it was fracking.
Maybe the rich people will wake up now that fracking is ruining their Corvettes.
That's the only way to get
now
through
it's
to
gonna
them.
be a problem, yeah.
That's the only way.
It must be stopped.
Destroy their precious cars.
Says J. Paul Getty V.
Man,
This
I really
must
want a
be stopped.
Corvette. When you get a Corvette, you've made it in this world. Hopefully one of the the guys who worked at the dealership, I guess it wasn't dealership, in the museum, was in there trying to impress a girl in the Corvette when it went into the ground.
I think that's God's punishment of.
It's starting to happen. I'm looking at your thing. It's just now starting to happen.
It's God punishing people for putting anything in Kentucky. I think that's what this is.
I think it's. I don't even know why it's in Kentucky. I know they do make Corvettes in Kentucky. I don't know.
Is that where they're made?
I don't know. That's the main place they're made or not. I know they do make them in I guess they only have one or two places to make them. They don't make that many a year. I don't think. You see it go.
They
The
just
first one
went
goes,
down.
and then boom, 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 like dominoes.
Yeah, we'll post the video on our Facebook page.
Very good. One more story, Autumn. One more. We don't have a lot of different.
Sure.
We're doing a lot of news today because we're kind of scrambling this together. We don't have a lot of segments. We don't have guests coming in. So give me one more story.
Of course, yeah. So there was this picture going around on Facebook of this little happy little boy that I refused to click on because it was like, one of those captions, "You won't believe what happened to this little boy."
Yeah, I hate those feel-good Facebook things. This annoys me.
Me too.
No, I believe it. He smiled and giggled a lot. I got it. Thank you. Don't tell me how I'm supposed to feel, Facebook.
You're gonna love this.
Yeah. You're not going to believe what happens when this bride sings to it. Shut up. Everyone's going to cry.
Hey, you know what?
Nobody cares. They shouldn't be getting married anyway. It's a broken institution. You know what I wouldn't believe? The bride sings to the husband. You know what I wouldn't believe? If he punched her in the throat. That's what I'd be like, you know what? I didn't believe it. I didn't see that coming.
Was unexpected.
That's right.
Really make me not believe
I'm
it.
so glad we're past that thing of a couple of years ago where all the dancing during the wedding ceremonies. I wanted to get a machine gun and go hunt down every wedding party. Anyway, finish the story.
That's not over.
Oh, is it? People are still doing it?
Did it ever happen where the guy said, like, there was one I saw where, he's probably friends with the police. He got the police to pull them over. The police pulled him out of the car while his fiance was in the car with him. And they were arresting him for reasons I don't know.
Right.
But then halfway through with the handcuffs on, like, ha ha ha, surprise. He's not really being arrested. Now he's going to propose to you. So he scared the shit out of her.
Right.
Making her think he was being arrested. But
Yeah.
with something like that, they're on the side of the road. And wouldn't it have been something if a car just hit him
Bam.
and killed him?
I wouldn't believe it. Wouldn't believe
You're
it.
not
She
gonna
didn't even have
believe.
the ring just spins on the asphalt and settles, and she sees it, and that's when she knows that he was going to propose.
What I really hate is the basketball games will do this every now and again. They'll have a proposal on the court, and she'll say no and run off.
Yeah.
It's like a gag
It's
they all do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pitch to the Hawks. If anybody out listening knows anybody with the Hawks, let's make this happen. I want
I
to
think
pitch.
Harry Hawk is a big fan.
Harry Hawk.
Yeah.
Is that a real person?
I think that's the name of the.
Is that somebody that listens to the show?
No, I think it's
Of
the
the
name.
actual hawk.
That's the mascot.
It's the
That's
mascot.
owner.
Well, the mascot is the owner.
I'd like to do a ruse with the Hawks, but it'd be a marriage proposal. But right as she's saying yes, I want like a giant dude to come out and start fighting the guy because she's been cheating. I want to do like a live Jerry Springer. That's what my goal is.
Harry Hawk, listen up.
Old Harold, where you at, bud?
They're going to do it at tonight's game. They're listening.
I know what you're going to say, Autumn. I haven't really told you what the story's about. We've been talking about it for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So go
really.
ahead. Give us the
Sorry.
details.
No, I want to talk more about mascots being the owners.
Well, it's true. It's if you've
I
seen
wish
the Hawks.
that was real.
Well, the owner's cheap. It's not that he has to do that, but rather than pay a mascot, he figures I'm here at every game anyway. I'll put the
It'd be
stupid
so
head
much
on and run
better than
around.
the camera, like,
Arthur
showing
Blank's
them-
the new Freddy the
showing them their,
Falcon.
Bach.
So every fourth quarter, he's already on the sidelines. He just
Yeah.
removes the head. He's there watching the rest of the game.
Go
Or sometimes,
team.
a shot of the owner's
Arthur
box.
Blank.
He's sitting there.
Go team.
Amazing.
Go team. Go. Arthur Blank here. Go team. So exactly what happened
right.
with this story, the Facebook kid?
Yeah, so
smiling kid.
it was this 10-year-old little boy who I guess has been diagnosed with it's called a sensory processing disorder.
Which means
and some other
autism or Asperger or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that was last year, and it was his birthday, and his mom wanted to make a party for him, and he said, well, who am I going to invite? I don't have any friends. So she made this Facebook page and got millions of likes. All these people, I guess, liked his Facebook page.
And a
because
10-year-old, you can pull the wool over their eyes. They actually think all those people are real.
Well,
Like
that's
some
something
bot
I had a
didn't come
question
along.
about. So, okay, so you show the little kid, here's your Facebook page. Look how many people love you. It's so great. But we still can't have a party because you don't really have friends at school or anything.
Yeah, we're going to do a Google Hangout.
Yeah, it's going to be really boring.
all of your best friends from around the world are going to hang out with you on Google for a couple hours. And
yeah, I have a mom, this 47-year-old mom from Arizona flying in for your birthday.
it's
but
just your friend.
Isn't celebrating differences what makes America and makes like life better?
It's supposed to.
I mean, like that kid needs to like. What happened to pulling up your bootstraps and making something out of yourself? Like I was tormented as a kid.
Yeah.
I got picked on, but then I
Right.
decided to make something
Yeah.
out of it. And
He's
now if
10.
everyone's gonna feel good about themselves and know, oh, we're gonna have this big party, everyone loves you, that kid's gonna be an idiot. That
That's
kid's
right.
gonna end up on the
That
rich
kid
kids
is
of
not.
Beverly
Yeah,
Hills.
how else do you make comedians? You have
He's-
to torture him a little bit.
That's right. He's
Relax.
He's 10, so we're not really going to hold him responsible, I don't think. But
Wait, so that's the story.
well, hold on. Here's the thing. He's severely not so severely
No,
autistic.
not severely.
No, well, he's enough that he's very much. He doesn't have friends. His mom, I think in the article, she says something like, you know, can you see that? Her original thing that she put on the. I am Colin's mom. I created this page for my amazing, wonderful, challenging son who is about to turn 11. So she even puts into her thing, you know, he's a handful for me. So I can understand why maybe he doesn't make friends so easy. So, and the thing is, if you're 10 years old, this must be great. If you think you don't have friends and you look at it and whatever, but you are kind of setting the kid up because life doesn't work this way. You know, it would be better to just go out and rent a couple of human beings for a couple of days and have them play in the yard with them. Yeah, they should have children. You should have like children's escorts who will pretend to be your friend. If
That's the worst idea ever. That is the worst idea ever.
Children escorts.
I'm buying children'sescorts.com right now.
Somebody had please do, and then watch the choppers circle. There's a Shark Tank. A guy had an idea for a business. It was called Rent a Grandma.
Yeah.
And there was old ladies that you could rent to just hang out with you and like make cookies for you. I thought it was a great idea.
Did he get
No.
shot down?
I love that idea.
He get shot
Nobody
down?
bought it.
Nobody bought it, huh?
That's
See,
a
that's such a
Rent
good
the
idea.
Grandma.
See,
Yeah, Mark Cuban. He owns half
Yeah.
the internet and Rent the Grandma. It's just,
I'm the only person that doesn't watch Shark Tank. Is it as good as people say it is?
It's
Is it
awesome.
good?
what do you not like?
fun.
FUBU? You racist?
It's okay.
That's what it is.
Well, in my mind.
Underneath everything, that's where the engine lies. So they, according to the story, they hadn't. We're reading this news. This kid must not read the internet because in the story it says.
Right, they haven't done. Yeah, they haven't surprised him yet.
We haven't
They
told him
him.
yet. Well, now the
Right.
story is all over the internet. So one of these kids that doesn't want to talk to him at school is going to see it and tell him about it. So it's kind of out of the bag.
Right.
So all right. Well, listen.
I'm going to reappear on social media now as an autistic boy and see how many friends I can get.
How much money you get? This lady actually had to start up a P.O. box for letters, so he got real cards too from people.
Right.
It's incredible.
But no people.
Good for him. You know what?
There's still a big echo in the house on his birthday, but everything
Exactly.
else is fine.
It doesn't change anything. He still doesn't have buddies.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
now he's going to be kind of famous for a day or two, so he might get buddies.
This is the last
But he's
time
still going
anyone's
to be
ever
the weird
talked about
guy
him.
at school who
A
doesn't.
little-
They don't want to sit next to you at lunch.
Hey, then
you
you're
know?
forgetting, Michael, because you're in show business now. But when you're a kid, like if they take a picture of you raking leaves and it gets in the newspaper for one day, you get like a certain amount of fame for like a little bit
for a
around
day
the
or
school.
two.
Yeah.
But this is now the internet. This is
Yeah.
this is up and gone. Now we're watching a jogger tell everyone that they should be out running in the snow, and then they fall on their ass. Like that's
Yes.
not. I've moved on. Sorry, kid.
I've moved
Middle
on,
school's
too.
gonna suck for you.
I used to watch this
You're gonna
idiot.
start smelling funny when you sweat, and the girls aren't gonna talk to you. Get used to it.
I used to
that
watch-
hasn't changed. The internet hasn't changed puberty and
Well,
girls'
Right.
perspectives of you.
Don't
It's
think
all
it
the
hasn't
same.
changed puberty. Internet has changed
Has it?
puberty to a certain degree.
I used to stink so horribly.
I
during
used to
puberty.
wonder what those parts looked like, and now if I was
And now you still
12,
are wondering.
I'm still wondering, but now I know because of the internet. All right, give me that new sounder and let's wrap that up.
Hi, that's our take on the news. I'm going to try my little end thing. Can I try that?
Yeah, try it.
Yeah, this
hold
is
on,
our take
hold
on
on.
the news. If you want links to the stories we did or didn't get to, you can find us on Eric Von Radio. subreddit or at ericvonradio.com.
People are pissed off because we haven't gotten a place where we have all of our links where you can see, how to find us and watch us and listen to us. And the reason is because I forgot how to do links where you can put in your own words. You know what I mean? So the links,
a hyperlink?
A hyperlink. Right, there you go. A hyperlink. I forgot how to do it, and I didn't want to put it up there when it's like XWZZ2456. So if anybody here knows how to make a hyperlink.
Autumn.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
You need to make them
We'll talk
hyperlinks.
later.
And just say Twitter, Ustream, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to put them up there, and I used to know how to do this. There's a little piece of code that I used to know how to do it, but I forgot how to do it. So we'll get that
I'll
stuff
figure
up
it out.
there.
We'll put it on Facebook, and then we'll link it everywhere.
There you go. Thank you very
Love
much, Autumn. So let's pull up at least the trailer for the Judge Alex again while we get a little more information from Michael Albanese. Speaking of somebody who is in show business and in television, Michael Albanese was on Judge Alex yesterday, and we were wrong. We kept telling people it was on Fox 5. It ended up being on like 17 or something like that. Or what was it on?
WPC. It was on Channel 2 in Atlanta.
Oh, it was SB.
You have the link
Yeah,
for
it was
this?
it was on Channel 2 for me.
Okay.
That's whatever that is. Or 802.
No, I don't have the link for it, so it's okay. So can you send him a link to that trailer thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you won. We know
I
this.
won!
I forgot to watch it. And you had told me
my
that
own sounder.
I knew that you won, so you kind of spoiled it for me because I wasn't able to watch it. Can I say that? It's okay to tell one person, right?
I just didn't tell the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So what was the case again?
The case I do every year. Oh, this is a nice little plug. I did the Battle of the Beards. It's a big beard and mustache competition every year. We do it at Smith's Old Bar around December this year. And it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so I hired a guy to be my promoter, and he was. I paid him a bunch of money, and he kind of fell off the face of the earth. And then
So he did nothing. So you gave him, as smart people always do, you gave him the money up front.
Well, of course, yeah. It's a genius move on my part. Let's not get it twisted.
And what were you expecting? What kind of promotion would he do with $4,000?
Well, he was going to do all the flyering, all of the groundwork, the legwork
Right.
that I couldn't do.
$4,000. That's pretty good, but that was for materials and everything.
Right, but we also had 1,500 tickets that we could have sold. This wasn't this past year. We did it at Smith's. It was at the Masquerade. We did it 2 events ago.
Right.
And he didn't do shit.
And how long ago? How long ago did you do the appearance on Judge Alex as opposed to when it actually aired yesterday?
This was like last summer, maybe.
Really? They
Yeah,
get
it was.
that
Yeah,
deep
it was
in
a
the
while.
can.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
So you show up and the other guy's there, and you guys were really mad at each other.
absolutely, I was furious.
So you'll never use this guy again, huh? You're never going to give him any money again.
Absolutely not. It was an interesting.
I love the fact that we're trying to find this video is buried so deeply
It's
into
so
the
deep
internet.
right
It is
now. Yeah. Nope,
impossible
found it. Here
to
it is.
find.
No, I got it.
You had your moment to shine.
So here was my. There's probably gonna be an ad before, so give me a
All
beat.
right.
Yeah. But it was
How
fun,
long-
man. They flew us out. It was a good time, and then I won. So and I had a bunch of
I
money.
love the fact that we're trying to you got to turn.
Yeah, I
you
got to turn
gotta
everything
mute.
else off. Well, this is really classy.
Yeah,
what we're
this
doing.
is
All right,
great.
here we go. Ready?
Well, we got 2.5 shows before we kind of broke the wheel.
On Judge Alex. When Michael hired Phil to promote his event, things got a bit hairy.
Get it?
The event that I run is called the Battle of the Beards. It's a big beard and mustache competition. I had a certain budget that I was able to spend, and when we talked about everything that I wanted to do, what I could come up with was $4,000. And from that point, it was like we fell off the face of the earth.
But now that Michael wants his money back, Phil is having none of it.
I did my best, man. I worked a lot. I really did. I don't know why they think it's
He got
funny,
burned
but
pretty
it's
hard.
True. I really did.
You watched the
Today,
episode. It was kind of uncomfortable.
Judge Alex wonders how one litigant made it this far.
You know how procreation works, right?
No.
You know that there's like a million sperm that go swimming towards that one egg, competing to see which one can fertilize that egg?
Yeah.
I am amazed that yours won.
Yeah.
And that was, yeah. There's a funny thing on Judge Alex's Facebook page. I think it's just Facebook Facebook.com/Judge Alex. There's a it's a picture of the guy Phil.
Yes.
And Judge Alex, they made this meme, and it was a split screen. In the middle was a bubble above his head, and said, "How much weed do you smoke?"
Yeah, I was going to say,
it is getting a lot of traction on Judge Alex's page.
Is he? Yeah, your friend came off as a bit of a stoner.
He's not my friend, Eric.
Well, you were friends at one point.
We had a business relationship.
Yes. Well, you said you watched it together. I don't know if you recognized it.
I didn't watch it together with him. No, absolutely
I thought you
not.
said it was uncomfortable.
No, it was uncomfortable. Just watching it in general.
Right. So you're never going to make up with this guy again? But is that a rule? Like, hey, you guys.
We've talked since then because
Right.
we kind of have this thing like in common now. We've talked since then.
I mean, it's only, first of all, even if the fact that he lost, he doesn't have to pay you, right? They pay.
Right.
So
I think they
good
do.
Deal
I'm not
for
sure
him.
contractually whether I'm allowed to say that or not.
No, I think it's a known fact about
Yeah,
these shows.
yeah.
I mean, that's why people go, and even if they know they're going to lose the case, because there's a budget, and you're paid to be on television. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But he is a real judge, and it is a binding decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Legally
It's an out of court, settled out of court type of situation.
Right.
It's a real thing. Yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
So what did you do with your money? How much money did you get?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
I paid some bills with it. It was good. I enjoyed having that money.
You were out there for like 2 or 3 days?
What's the maximum you can go in there if you're suing someone?
5, because it's considered small claims. I think Judge Judy or one of the, I don't know if she's on, but one of them you can got up to like 10 grand or something.
Where was
so I'm working on that case now.
You said yesterday that they put you up in not yesterday, the day before, I think, that they put you up in North Hollywood, down by Hollywood.
Yeah, on Hollywood
So
Boulevard.
is it those studios that are down there in those side streets?
Yeah, it's one of those.
Judge Judy used to be out of there.
It's in. They
Probably
do it like the Fox studios. It's
Okay.
Right, our studio was right next to when Russell Brand had a show. That's how long ago this was filmed. And then Let's Make a Deal was on the other side,
Right.
which I was kind of like, I'm just going to go do Let's Make a Deal. Let's get out of here. I want to go
Dress
win
up
a
as
zoink.
Ace of Spades or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do people do playing cards so often on Let's Make a Deal? I don't know why. It
I
just
think
comes
they
up
have
a
like
lot.
a costume, like a wardrobe. You just go in. I don't think people are walking into the studios dressed like
All right,
aliens.
you're a fat couple. Put them in the
Yeah.
dice. The dice show up a lot, and any sort of playing card.
Yeah.
That's I'm gonna let that lay out there because
Just let it sit
people
there.
are,
We'll
you know,
let you
people
listen
to,
to it.
No, I was just trying to think of what I would dress as, but I don't know.
An alien,
No
probably.
clue.
All right, so you're the winner, and
The
you
winner,
have
big
killed,
money, and then I went and celebrated last night with alcohol.
You have killed your opponent. He no longer is living on this planet. That's the show I want to see. Life or death.
Yeah, really. Well, I
Make
think
your
they've done
case.
that before. It was called Rich Kids of Beverly Hills.
Hey, well, that's awesome, and congratulations
Thanks,
on,
man.
on winning your case
It was
and
fun.
making. You got, as you mentioned, you got 2 applause breaks during your
I did.
presentation.
He got a lot more laughs than I did, which was a little bit, good for
Well,
him.
he was playing the dupe.
He was the dupe, Eric.
I mean, he was playing the dupe in the sense.
You're setting me up for failure
No.
here, man. You're making it sound like this wasn't a real thing.
Is the money
which
spent?
it was.
Is the money spent?
Of course it's
oh,
spent.
who gives a damn? You think Judge Alice could come back? You gave him a great meme. That's all they care about. Look at this guy. Get a room, Albanese.
Help it, man. I don't know. I got that.
Are you a
I'm
cocaine
30
addict?
years old.
Are you a
Oh, wait.
cocaine addict? What's
I get
going
that
on?
a lot, man. Someone was just commenting on whoever.
No, I watched a couple of the things.
NYTE 2001 just said someone give that poor guy a tissue.
Yeah, I've watched a couple. It's like every show so far. There's one time that I don't know if Greg's doing this on purpose. But
Probably.
There's
I
one
gotta
shot
watch
of
his
you,
hands.
blowing your nose or wiping your nose.
It happened again today.
It's happened a lot.
And my
people are
camera's
asking
out,
me.
so it's just you two. So there's plenty of nose blowing going on. By the way, I found that there's a costume here. It looks like a pack of Oscar Mayer bologna, and it says "full of bologna." And that's what I would wear on the show.
Let's make a deal.
Yes, took me that long to figure it out, but I'm ready to go.
You finally did.
They still taping that?
Yeah.
It's still going on.
Yeah, isn't it
old Wayne Braids.
Wayne Brady, man, that guy's so popular. I mean,
He's hilarious.
He's
man.
perfect. He's like a perfect daytime.
He's a perfect rube.
He's just a perfect daytime host because he knows how to appeal to everybody. Like secretaries, everybody's gonna love him. But he's also intelligent. He's a funny dude. I think. Do you think, Michael?
I think he's hilarious. Yeah. He really became funny after Chappelle. I mean, he's always funny, but he was always kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like cruise comedian funny, and but when he did Chappelle show and he was he came out like smoking crack. It was pretty good.
He's a comedian you don't want to like, but you love him.
Well, you may not like.
Well, that's because he's Black Autumn, and you have.
We
issues
know you're a
with that.
racist, and we understand that. But I mean, she doesn't even get Richard Pryor at this point. She can't accept him. So Wayne Brady is out of the question.
I I didn't know that cruise ship comedians were frowned upon.
Oh,
They're not frowned about. They're clean and they're like a little bit cheesy because they have to be because they're on cruises, which are all ages.
Right.
Come on.
I
Read
always
between the
thought,
lines.
no, they have the late night show that's for adults only. Those do exist.
He says damn and hell in that one. I think it's a little risque.
Leave the kids in the cabin, and you come and you watch
I saw one of
adult
the worst
humor.
comedians I ever saw in my life on a cruise ship, and we weren't even out to sea. It was a Super Bowl where they brought in ships down in New Orleans to dock for more space, more hotel space, and we were staying on this cruise ship that is somehow listing, so it's docked and then it's like turned just a little bit, listing just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So once a night I would roll out of my bunk. Wake up on the floor because the ship was docked like that. But Larry Larkin, worst comedian I ever saw in my life, right there on that cruise ship. Jay Busby is expecting our call, Greg, because I want to get a update on the Olympics, which I was so into them over the weekend, and then the last couple of days, even though yesterday was a snow day, I watched Channel 2 all day long. Here's
Except
more roads.
when Judge Alex was on.
Except then. Here's the roads. They're still frozen.
Yeah.
And I really have not caught the Olympics now in a couple of days. I don't know. I know that we swept the ski slope style. Gold, silver, bronze.
Hello.
We did.
Hey, Jay Busby.
How are you, sir?
I am fine. Now, Autumn, remember you're on the same line, so pull back a little bit, please.
So shut up.
Yeah, you're a girl, and we're talking about the Olympics. Jay Busby, Yahoo Sports. Welcome once again. Thanks again. As I was just saying, I didn't watch any of the Olympics yesterday, but I know it's a big deal that I think it's the first time since the 50s that the U.S. has actually swept the medals in a particular event in the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, this was they won the slope style event, the skiing event, which is another one of these outstandingly crazy, ridiculous X Games things that we've managed to get into the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
And it is only the third time that we've ever swept a podium, getting bronze, silver, gold, and bronze all at once.
Now, I'm proud of my good American team, but isn't this the first time that they've had this event?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
yes,
so we're
it's a bit of a you can spin it a couple of different ways, but fundamentally these guys require some talent, and so we can enjoy it just as what it is, I suppose.
No, I think I wish I had seen it because the winner apparently came out of nowhere. He was barely made the team. By winner, I mean the gold medal.
Right.
He barely made the team apparently, and then just had great practices all week long, and then added some kind of trick where he went off the slope backward at the last minute or something like that, and I'm sure I'll see that footage today. But so it must have been awesome to watch. But my point is, it's a sport that kind of America invented, and we've got a big head start right now.
You know what? But isn't that the American way, though?
Yes.
We create the rules of the game, and then we win the game, and then we tell other people how to play the game.
That's exactly right. Except for curling, I think the Canadians are still better than us in curling. Do we have a good curling team?
We beat the Netherlands.
Oh.
Yesterday, I watched.
You look at me as if I know.
Well, I couldn't. I was looking at you to see if the Netherlands was a real place. I think it was the
Again, you look at me
Netherlands
as if I know.
I watched all this. I watched I watched the U.S. play curling yesterday, and that's the only thing I watched for the Olympics yesterday. And it's so long. It's like a 6-hour match, if you can even call it that. One of the guys was falling asleep
on the ice.
He was just like.
The Rock was bored.
Yeah. I feel like if you're in curling, you should be able to drink beer like bowling.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I read an article in Wall Street Journal yesterday or this morning. I can't remember. But apparently this is the driest Olympics in a long time. Russia has so much trouble with alcoholism that apparently you can't get alcohol anywhere around there, or just very few places.
Unless you're Canadian.
Well, yeah, the Canadians. Yeah, the Canadians can get it, but still not as much as they like. And so people are complaining, and one of the quotes that was in the article that I read was a guy who was at the curling match, and he's like, "Who wants to watch curling without beer?" No one. Let me tell you, no one wants to watch curling without beer. Apparently, it gets better the drunker you are.
I guess
that guy's my hero, without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, so many of these sports are just so much better with little alcohol in you, a little vodka warm your system.
I think that the Russians apparently, and I don't remember this, at the last Winter Games in Vancouver. The crowds got a little rambunctious and out of hand, and there was trouble. And Russians, knowing that they're worse than Canadians when it comes to alcohol, decided there's a new rule in Russia. Apparently, if you go to any kind of sporting event in Russia, there's no alcohol allowed in stadiums in major cities. You know about this, Jay? No
Well,
alcohol.
I did not know about that one, but I can tell you that it seems to work okay for the SEC. You know, you just get tanked up before you go into the into the stadium. You're all right.
It does kind of force the tailgate to become even more sloppy.
I would like to see a Russian tailgate. That seems like a euphemism for something horrible. But
a Russian tailgate?
A Russian tailgate.
We sit there and we all we do is we would tell people that they're stupid.
I think that I would imagine it would break down into like big wrestling matches out in the parking lot.
We take off our shirt and we bump chests, and then we all get depressed until we kill ourselves.
We compare back hair.
Yeah, exactly.
What's coming up? So okay, we swept that. What else happened yesterday? How are we doing in the skating? I'm completely out of it. It's as if I do not live on this planet.
Well, that's not a problem. It's not a problem. We've got skating. The men's skating actually is going on right now. It's live. We've got hockey is the big thing that's just starting up. The U.S. today, and again, spoiler alert for anyone that wants to watch it live, but the U.S. just absolutely dominated today. Scored 7 goals against Slovenia. Didn't have a whole lot of trouble at all. That was kind of the big one so far. But yeah, now that hockey and skating are starting up, these are the two kind of marquee events that people are going to be paying attention to.
Right. Is the men's hockey team is good? It's NHL All-Stars, or are they all on the Canadian team?
You know what? They're kind of all over the place. The Canadian, the Russian, and the U.S. are really the 3 big teams. But it's not like basketball where you've got all the American stars on the dream team, and each European team has 1 or 2 guys that might be in the NBA. Right. In hockey, they're much more widely distributed, so there's a lot better chance of getting some really good hockey matches throughout the event.
The Olympics are like an NHL All-Star game.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, just every single game between all the countries.
Exactly. You mentioned, you were just saying spoiler alert, and I got in touch with you this morning because I saw that you were posting on Twitter. Do you have any, from the point of view that you're reporting on this, and you're here in the States, but
yes,
you're reporting on this, and do you have any problem with letting people know so-and-so just won a gold medal, or do people complain and say, hey, I wanted to watch that tonight, now you spoiled it for me?
You know what? That's a great question, and at this point, I think people understand that it's up to them to stay off of Twitter or to stay off of media if they want to really have that pure experience. But it's funny, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, we were getting a lot more of this. Now on the front page of Yahoo, we will say spoiler alert. We won't spoil anything on the front page if somebody comes there. But yeah, inside, we're not going to kind of hold the events. It's not our job to, keep NBC's programming suspenseful. We let people know, and I don't think I've gotten one complaint this year, which is a surprise because people complain about everything else.
People are used to it. I made the mistake of signing up for updates on my smartphone. So there's no, it doesn't say spoiler alert first and then hit you with who just won the medal. It's just like you look down, you just
bang,
look down, bang. Okay, all right, I don't have to watch that. NBC must hate that, but.
They actually do really, really. It's funny because I don't think people watch it in the same way that you watch a Super Bowl. No one's going to watch a Super Bowl if they already know what the outcome is.
Right.
But people kind of watch the Olympics for the experience, so it doesn't matter so much if there's a few events that they'll want to know who the winner is, but it's more the experience than the actual winner.
I remember there used to be a lot of complaints when the television coverage would know who won, but then they would tease it all day long as if you didn't know.
Right,
and that was somehow considered to be falsifying things. It was not. It's that they're trying to build their audience.
Exactly. The audiences are just ungodly large. So even with a 9 or 10 or 12-hour tape delay, it's still huge audiences. So I think that everybody's kind of come to terms with the fact that you are going to get it spoiled if you don't pay attention, if you don't watch out for what you're trying to avoid.
I think you're more likely, the thing that's likely to happen is you're maybe less likely to watch if the American you're following doesn't win. But the fact that that the guy you want to win won doesn't keep you. Then now I want to see it happen.
Right. Or if something dramatic happens, like with Shaun White a couple of days ago, you want to know what did he do? How did he screw up so badly and miss out on a medal? So yeah, it is more of a storyline thing than a winner and loser type of event.
Well, tell me what happened with Shaun White? Why did he screw up so badly?
He just had a really bad run his first time. He was really, really good in practice and qualifying, went right on through to the medal round, and then he had a rough run his first time. All the snowboarders were griping about the half pipe, and they were having all kinds of problems. He had a rough one, and then there were 3 other skiers that snowboarders, I should say, that put up really good scores. So he was the last guy. It was all set up to be one of these dramatic moments.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting 4th place, which is just the worst place of all because no medal, no nothing.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have cut that hair. But there was
That just looks like the bully from every teen movie you remember as a kid.
apparently the guy who got the gold though. What is his name? iTunes or something? iPod.
Yeah,
I think it's iPod.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a nickname, but he did some trick that was unbelievable.
Right.
It was
Put Shaun White to shame.
What was unbelievable about it is that it's called the YOLO.
Oh yeah,
Like, I
that
don't
is
know.
the name of that trick.
Leave it to Russia to introduce the YOLO in 2014, you morons.
We don't give shit about your YOLO. We bought all the T-shirts that nobody bought in the store.
I don't know why.
It's Russian or French?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Got a little froggy in there in the middle.
Asshole I am.
Wasn't he actually Japanese though?
Yeah, he's in Russia.
I think the kid was Japanese.
Right. Well, you know, the thing with Shaun White is, I mean, how long can you continue to train for the Olympics? This is his third Olympics, right?
Right.
So, you know, how many years can you keep that fire in your belly when it only happens once every 4 years? And Shaun White has had an awful lot of success, and he hasn't gotten fat and sloppy or anything, but I got to figure that he's got some money from his brand, and it becomes a little more difficult to hit that gym. It becomes a little more difficult to spend 6 hours today practicing than when you're younger, and you got so I think you lose the hunger. Like Michael Phelps said, I'm done. That's the thing to do. You know, I'm done. I'm not going to do this for 4 more years and try to and slowly slip away like has happened to Shaun White. It's a smart thing to do. If you're young and you're hungry and you want it, you're going to do everything you can to get it. But if the choice is between sitting around my mansion and maybe swimming today or going and training for the Olympics, I think it becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, and the Phelps comparison is ideal because you slip a little bit, you know, and there are guys that are a lot younger, a lot hungrier than you that they don't. They're not as settled as you might be. They're a lot more driven. You don't want to be Michael Jordan on the Wizards. You know, you want to go
Right.
out as best you can on top. And it seems like Shaun White may have crested that peak at this point.
Yeah, I love that. It's always the last impression, you know, to me. I mean,
Right.
Shaun White should have learned from Bruce Jenner. Now all people think about is that he's a woman now.
That's right. That's
They're
right.
forgetting
Yeah.
how
40
many
years from now, Shaun White will be on a reality show. Grow the hair back out.
Right. Very, very quickly. You remember Bruce Jenner when he was doing his thing. To these kids, it's all he's a reality show star. But we remember him actually winning these medals and being on the Wheaties box.
Yeah. I mean, I'm old enough that I can remember just running around in the yard doing Bruce Jenner tricks and
Yeah.
things like that, and that has a whole different connotation now. So I can't even.
I know you're a sportsman. You're not maybe a sociologist, but I am intrigued with this idea that at the age of 64, in your mid-60s, you decide to change your sex. I mean, is it just because that's the last thing we're going to remember Bruce Jenner for, and that's
Why
what
not?
he wants.
If that's what he wants to
but
do.
has he said that he's wanted it since he was 18 or 19?
Even
and
if he
just kept
decided
it to
a week
himself?
ago. Even if he decided a week ago, why not?
I'm going to be a woman.
I don't see the problem in it.
Who cares?
It's pretty interesting.
It's
to
interesting, sure.
me that-
I'd like to know the thought process behind it, how long he's felt like that, but actually,
I mean,
I don't
everybody,
care. But
I have my own feelings on this one. I think that I think it's, you know, is he going to go all the way, or is he just going to appear as a woman?
he's got the money to go all the way.
Is he gonna,
I would
he's
go
gonna
all the way.
Chop that baby
It's,
off.
first, it's all speculation. Everyone is coming out and saying that it's all fake, but there's just been a lot of reports of him getting manicures and
no, but I think that,
having
First
his
of all, black men have been getting
Adam's apple
manicures
shaved
for
and his
decades.
hair. It's
Let's
just
not call
a
that
lot of rumor.
female.
I think that it's more of it may not be a fact now, but he's starting to tell people. Bruce Jenner is saying things like, I'm going to live my life the way I want to now. And he's
Right.
beginning to look like a woman. So put the two together, and that's what he's going for.
I think he's just always been a woman inside.
Yeah.
He should
That's
take the
what I
Eddie
wanna
Izzard
know.
route and just dress like a woman but still
That's
you know,
what I want
bang
to know.
chicks.
I want to know if it's something that occurred to him in his 50s, or is it just something he's had inside of him since he was 18 or 19. And all this time, we never knew, watching Bruce Jenner, we never knew he was the first woman he was the first female on a Wheaties box.
I find it hard to believe that Jesus.
What?
I find it hard to believe that anybody just wakes up one day and goes, "Nah, I'm gonna go with tits today."
Hey!
Like, I think I buy into the theory that you're born with it, and it's just however long it takes for you to become okay with it or to accept it.
I think it's bizarre. I think changing sex is the one thing to me. I mean, if you're doing it at 64, you know, it's a lot. Actually, strangely enough to me, it's like, well, you've lived your life and you know who you are. I am not real cool with surgeons whacking that off of somebody who's
think of how
19, because the things that you think about when you're 30, you already
That's
think
true,
you were
yeah.
an idiot when you're 19, and that's kind of irreversible. So if somebody put it this way, if somebody in a delusional rage cuts their thing off,
You don't have to say thing.
and runs around the neighborhood saying, I'm a woman now. He's like, that guy, he's having an episode. But if you do it with a scalpel and in a clean environment, it's considered to be, well,
you don't
that's
think
just
that
a
you
great-
know, though? Maybe there's a
I think-
percentage out there who are just jumping to conclusions, but I can't even see that.
Bruce Jenner, let's put it this
I
way.
don't think it's a decision you just make. Yeah, I kind of feel like that today. The same
Well,
thing
no,
you were
it's
saying
a
before.
commitment. It's a commitment.
But I think you know. Maybe you just know.
But it doesn't matter that you try to change your sex. My point is always this: if Bruce Jenner changes his sex completely, gets rid of his dingy dongy and moves on with his life,
Go back to calling it a thing.
and
just,
then just dingy dongy.
Stick to one.
And let's say that he's somewhere in Siberia and he falls into a ravine and it's snowed over, iced over, and he dies down in that ravine. Right? You follow me? So Bruce Jenner, he's made the sex
trying.
change. He's in Siberia.
He has some
He's
sort of
got
weird
snowshoes
Batman
on. He's got snowshoes
scenario.
on. He's trekking across Siberia. He falls into a ravine. The snow and ice build up over him, and he's preserved for 1,000 years. So when they pull him up and they get rid of the skin and everything, they're just dealing with the body. They're going to say this was a man. They're not going to say this was a woman, because
So
physically.
you're talking. That's the difference between sex and gender.
Yeah.
Boom! You just got
Done.
dictionary.
Shut down.
What is the difference between
No-
sex and gender?
No, there's a
what
difference.
the hell are you
So-
talking
come on.
about? What sex
Sex
are you? If it's-
is your XY, chromosome.
Yeah.
I guess, and then the gender is what you portray, is what you
How you
give
identify.
out as your gender.
That was not a definition in 1953. I guarantee you that did not exist in 1953. That sex and
Yeah, but it
gender
used
were
to
two
be the
different
women
things.
couldn't vote and black guys.
Oh,
couldn't
you're putting
own
that on the
land,
same
so-
level. You're putting that on the same level. You could say that about anything. I think that sexual identity is something best left
You
for
know what?
psychiatrists, but I don't want to go into the whole thing.
You're actually right about the usage of the word, because you do a search for a definition on Google, and it gives you the definition. If you open up the window, it gives you a timeline of word usage, and it shoots up in like the 60s.
Oh, right, exactly. So yeah, it's
as much as I
modern.
was going to argue, it's there.
It's my thing is it's a psychiatric deal. But hey, live and let live, and that's how I feel. And I know that's how Jay Busby of Yahoo Sports feels. He still loves Bruce Jenner. He is not a trans sexist, whatever. What would you call somebody who doesn't like Bruce Jenner?
I guess that
He's
would be a
living his
trans
life.
sex, you
That's
know,
what I call it.
What?
Anti-Kardashian? Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. It's the Kardashians that bother me.
Is it already old saying that he wants to be a girl and the oldest Kardashian's turning into a man?
You're the first. They're swapping places.
Let's meme it up.
The oldest is the prettiest, by the way. Kim.
No, I like
Get out of here.
she's not the oldest, is she? I thought
Kim's not the
I thought the
oldest.
short one was the oldest.
No,
She's the
the-
cute one.
The oldest. No.
I don't know. Chloe's the dude.
Courtney.
Yeah.
Courtney.
Courtney's the
Yeah,
best.
she's cute, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
pretty.
know him. I wouldn't know him if they walked in the door right now. I wouldn't know him. I would if I
You'd
bumped
smell
into
him.
him on the street. I wouldn't. I guess I've seen Kim Kardashian enough that I would know. Jay Busby, Yahoo Sports.
Thank you, sir. I
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for helping us walk through this whole transgender situation that the society is dealing with right
I will.
now.
I would love to. Yeah, I didn't want to bust in the middle of it, but
Of
there was a
course.
great article about Bruce Jenner a few years ago, where it was all about him being alone and isolated, and it would have all the crazy of the Kardashians going on, and he'd be standing over way in the corner by himself, and so now it all starts to become a lot clearer. He was
Yeah.
just completely isolated.
He's
from
just
his
thinking,
crew.
do I tell him now? Do I tell him now?
Yeah.
When should I tell him?
Is
When
this the
should I
moment?
go public with this? I really. Well, I'll slowly just start having surgery done, and maybe people will pick it up.
He kind of looks like John Lennon.
Yeah, he's getting that
Oddly.
look, yes.
Yeah.
You should put on the granny glasses.
He looks like the robot devil to me from Futurama. I think that's a good comparison.
That is a good comparison. All right, well, Jay Busby, Yahoo Sports. Thanks again for bailing us out here. We kind of had to put this one together with,
It's
chewing
it's
gum
snow
and
shows.
Yes.
it's a snow show.
It was
So I
flying the whole
appreciate
thing.
you coming in at the last minute and helping us out. Yahoo Sports. Everybody can find you. What is it? At Jay Busby.
Yes.
JAY
BWE.
BUSBEE. Thank you, Jay Busby. Yahoo Sports.
See ya.
All right, I think that we're just about coming to the end of everything here.
We're here. We've made it.
We're supposed to hear music now.
Worth the crack of my bumper.
Yeah, well, it's worth
you
the
guys,
crack
you
of your
guys wanna
bumper.
come outside and take a look at it when we wrap up?
I would love to. We'll
Take some
take
pictures,
We'll take
throw
some
it up.
pictures. We'll throw it up there. Yeah, I forgot during the show that now I'm gonna have to deal with this in my neighborhood.
Yeah, you know
Not
what?
only are you running a business out of your basement, which probably isn't allowed in the bylaws. Now your employees are knocking over stop signs.
Hey,
and
maybe
then
they should have plowed the
driving
streets.
away.
Maybe the neighborhood association is at fault for not taking care of their roads.
At the last meeting, I stood up and said we should buy a plow.
Goddamn right.
And
There was a
everyone-
guy in a
I
plow
was-
outside your neighborhood that didn't come in.
Do you actually think they care you're running a business, this kind of business? It's not like a barber shop. If people
No.
are coming into a barber shop in your basement, getting
I'll
haircuts
cut my
and
hair
shaves.
down here just to get you in trouble.
Yes.
I think that they wouldn't unless my employees start tearing up the neighborhood. Then
All
I
right,
might,
well, it begins, yes.
He's a menace already in my neighborhood. Where can people find you, Michael Albanese?
Big Man Mike on all the stuff, and then
You got a show coming up later in the month, right?
I do. Yeah, I'll be at the Improv at last weekend of February with Bobby Kelly, and improvatlanta.com. You can get tickets to that. And there's somewhere else I'm going to be. Who cares?
No, I care. I care.
Go to my
Michael.
website, inmyownhead.com. That's where you can see all my live dates.
You got your tour schedule there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And you can get tickets. If anyone's listening in the D.C. area, I'm doing a run in April. We can come hang out with me. We'll talk about it
That'd
later.
be fantastic.
Yeah.
We got to have one or two, right? Autumn Fisher, what about you? How do we get in touch with you?
You can find me on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Vine, YouTube, all Auto Pritz.
Auto.
P-R-I-T-T-S.
Yeah, Auto like the car. Auto Pritz.
That's right.
Greg Russ, anything to say?
No.
Good.
I'll be making out in your car later, Eric.
Again?
Yeah, that's what's going on
All
these
right.
days.
Why are you making
With
out
my
my
future
car?
girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why is it
that's
my
all.
car? Why don't you go inside? It's cold out.
The car's nice, good heat. The hotel, the Highland Inn has a radiator. It's very cold in that room.
So you make out in my car.
Yeah.
So what do? You put because it's a shift. So you get in the back seat.
You have
or
to
do
maneuver. I'm not going to give away the secrets.
Do you roll the? Do you put this? Are you putting my seat back down all the way and then going at it like that?
That only happened
It's my
twice.
car, Greg. I have a right to know what the hell's going on with my car.
I'll set up a cam, record it for you.
Hey, we didn't talk about Patreon at all. We did no stops. Try patreon.com if you'd like to go into business with us. We'd like to go to business with you. We're trying to change radio. I don't know how this one went, but for the most part, we've had some really good shows. This one was a little bit weird, but hey, maybe it was great. Patreon.com. Help us out. Thank you for joining us, and we will...
I'm just trying to start the music over.
That guitar says that we are done. We'll see you tomorrow. The Heil Hitler thing.